Yes, sir. We on time. Let's get the people up in here, man. You already know it's King Supreme. Tap on in. I appreciate everybody. True warrior scholar. Always in the building. My brother. Yes, sir. Now, I seen this coming 100 miles away. I seen this coming way from the other side of the world, way from the other side of the country. Because the reason why I say this is because, check it out. There's no way somebody with morals and principles as a foundational Black American is going to be cool with Myron and Fresh and Fit. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't align. Your mentality, their mentality, it does not, it's not a match. Let me just make a long story short. It is not a match. Myron hangs around with racist white boys. He's saying disparaging things about foundational Black Americans every chance he get while tethering on to our culture for his own benefit. Man, I've seen through this a long time ago because at some point I said, why is Marquette even cool with these bozos? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you have in common with a bozo like this? But shout out to Marquette, man. He's doing wonderful things. Salute to the brother. But I just didn't understand why somebody of his caliber would be cool with a Fresh and Fit, would be cool with a Myron. Didn't make sense at all. Right? And a lot of people was asking me the same thing, like, what's up with your boy? Why is he rocking with Fresh and Fit? I said, hey, man, you're going to have to ask him that question. Yeah. Fresh and Trick. Yeah, Simple used to call him Fresh and Trick. Trick and Fresh, Fresh and Trick. Gang Goofy Gilligan. See, this is a prime example of what happens when you give money to Gang Goofy Gilligans. That's what happens when you give a Gilligan some money. They start chimping out. He said they he said they're the same. Virgil Berry. Shout out to Virgil Berry. Oh my God, man. It was terrible, man. It was a disaster. Kind of like that gossiping auntie that I went in on last night, man. I'm gonna play it once we get to the 5 minute mark. We're gonna dive into the conversation, to the content. We're gonna dive into the conversation. Now, the Keisha chick is like, man, you got Black men over there supporting that. You got this old ass lady with a wig on, gossiping, running her mouth, and you got Black men over there sending money. I said, man, what's wrong with y'all, man? I understand women being over there and listening to that, but when you see grown ass men listening to Keisha, oh my God, this community is terrible. Masculinity just fell off a long time ago. You got grown ass men listening to Keisha. This woman is bald headed with that wig on, gossiping, running her mouth. Why would a grown man even want to listen to some crap like that? If I wanted to listen to a lady with a wig gossiping, I can go to my auntie's house to listen to that. You can go to your granny's or one of your aunties' house to listen to that crap. Woman with that wig on, talking crazy, running her mouth, gossiping about everybody. You got grown ass men over there supporting that nonsense. Man, let's get it, man. Hit the like button. You already know what it is, baby. Let's see what Marquette had to say about this situation. Yeah.
Often you're confronted with facades and pretend. Mostly it's all for money. Every now and then it's because they want to feel like somebody. They lack self-esteem. What you guys might not realize.
Yeah, man, you got grown ass man listening to they bald headed auntie with a wig on gossip about grown men all day. And you got grown men in the comment section sending money. It's like, are you really entertained by that as a man? This woman is messy. She been talking about tampon for years, and the moment that tampon fires back, now she's pretending to be a victim. I'm gonna file a police report. I'm gonna take legal action. All these videos you done made about that man and his business. Now all of a sudden you want to report him to the authorities. Now you want to pretend to be the victim. It's fair game. And you got grown ass men over there supporting that. That's terrible, bro. When you got grown ass men who support gossiping aunties that's messy, it shows you the amount of black men that was raised in these single mother-led homes. That's a prime example. Because no masculine man is going to sit up there and even listen to no shit like that, let alone be in the comment section sending money. You just hating. You just say, man, shut your dumb ass up. Ain't nobody hating. Them grown ass men ought to be ashamed of themselves. Listening to your gossiping ass auntie with that wig on, running her damn mouth. Let's get into the content though.
Realizes that actually Amru Fuddle is really the protege of Marquette Devon Burton. See, many of you might not have known that. We're going to clarify it. And, you know, just the fakeness, just to start off, we're going by fake names here, Fresh and Fit. I came out and I said, my name is Marquette Devon Burton, my whole name. They came out with Fresh and Fit, Walter Weeks, and Amru Fuddle. I'm going to give you a little taste of the agenda here. I probably won't be able to get to all of it. This is just some of it. So we'll try to get through quite a bit of it today. But here's some things that we have on the agenda. How we met, I think that's an important thing to speak on. Secondly, we want to track back so you understand what created Myron, because this Myron Gaines, it's a fake name. It's a persona. It's not who he really is. It's a creation. So how did this creation come to be? Where did this Frankenstein of the manosphere come from? I also want to address Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I've always respected his work, and he's put in a lot of work. And there's a time where I was going to set them up to debate, and it never happened. And I was putting up the cash for it. And there's a specific reason that it never happened, but I never spoke on it because I'm my brother's keeper. I don't expose people's weaknesses and flaws and shortcomings to the public, even when it's profitable.
So Marquette is saying he could have exposed him a long time ago, but since he was friends with him, he just sat back and let it ride. And I get it, man, because, you know, it didn't make sense for Marquette to be friends with them, right? You know, Myron has done way too much for any foundational black American to consider him as a friend. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Then we want to address values and principles, because so often people come in front of the microphone and they're really just greedy liars trying to make a dollar, but they come up and they do this and they say, no, I'm going to help you get a Bugatti, or I'm going to do all of these things, make you rich, just take my course. And really, it's all for the money. How can they teach you the game, but they're paying for the women that are around them and paying for the box as well? I'll give you some stories you never heard.
Yeah, man, them dudes been giving you guys courses of masculinity while paying for the box. This is what I mean when I say black people will listen to anybody with money. Fresh and Fit was most definitely paying for the punani, spending money, tricking, simping. But then they turn around and sell you a masculinity course on how you can become an alpha male. Now you got beta males who's paying for females, but they're going to sell you a course on how to be an alpha male. Now, how dumb is that? And what's crazy is you got people that were dumb enough to sign up for those courses. How dumb are people? All you got to do is have money, and people will believe anything you say. They'll believe anything you say as long as you got money. That's how dumb a lot of these people are in today's society. Black, white, or whatever. You got some money, you could tell people anything, they'll fall for it. You had a bunch of grown men paying for masculinity courses. You got, listen, homie, you got a beta male selling you courses on masculinity. And the crazy part about it is you had dumbass men paying for those masculinity courses. The person that's selling you the course is a certified beta male, a swaggerless monkey, a gang goofy Gilligan.
Also, that Chinese girl.
Listen, man, it shows you how slow people are in today's society. If you ever thought that Fresh and Fit if you ever thought those guys were alpha males and players, you lack discernment, you lack common sense. Something is wrong with you. But you know what people said when I called it out? You just hating, you just hating. The same thing women say when they don't want to be held accountable. Instead of taking accountability, they'll just say you're just hating. I told everybody a long time ago, like, y'all can't see through this. Neither one of these guys had women before they got some money. Neither one of those guys had women. Neither one of those guys had access to women before they had some fame and money. And if you can't see that, then you just blind. You're deaf, dumb, and blind if you can't see that. Got a beta male selling you masculinity courses. Man, that is a joke.
You know, I heard about that before everybody heard about that. I could have made breaking news, but I keep it solid because I'm a solid man, and I always have been. And I live based on principles that never change. But I'll tell you the truth about that. Some of the things you didn't know. Your enemies, my enemies. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Well, you got a lot of hate watchers, man. You know, a lot of contributors turn haters. This is why we got to tell people to bless the like button. We shouldn't have to tell people to do that. But when you got a bunch of hate watchers, you're going to have to say it. Anyway, but we're going to move on with the content. I'm not going to sweat it.
Every time you saw these rascals get into trouble, you always would notice that I would come out of the woodwork and I would be one of the few people who would put up some content, whether it was a live session or a video, defending them, trying to clean their name and reputation of the filth that actually belonged on it. And not only that, I would always reach out to them and said, hey, what messaging do you need to get out? What story do you need to get out?
No, but then that destroys your credibility, Marquette, because when you're covering up for a bunch of people who are goofies, a bunch of guys who are misleading men, then that looks bad on you, my brother. And I rock with you, Marquette. Let me say it again. When you make excuses for a bunch of beta males that's misleading men, you got beta males selling masculinity courses. They're misleading men. And if you co-sign that, then that looks bad on your name and reputation. You should never co-sign a bunch of gang goofy Gilligans who are clearly misleading men. How in the hell is a beta male going to sell you a course of masculinity and manhood? It doesn't make sense.
Because if you say it, it won't sound authentic. If you say it, it'll sound like you're trying to make yourself look good. How can I be of use and of support to you? Every time. Every single time they're in hot water, I reach out and say, hey, let me help you out. Now, remember this. Every time they were in hot water, it was always for a good reason, and it was always true. It was always for a good reason, and it was always true. And every time they were in hot water, the internet was monolithically against them. So I was voluntarily taking a contrarian position, which is certainly less popular.
Well, why did you take that contrarian position when you know these beta males was misleading men? Beta males selling courses of masculinity. How a beta male gonna teach you how to become an alpha male? Money don't make you masculine, homie. Some of the most goofiest guys on planet Earth have money. Some of your biggest gang goofy Gilligans are papered up. They got money. But it doesn't take away from the fact that they are goofy. Doesn't take away from the fact that they are corny. No amount of money can change that. I don't care how much money you give Fresh and Fit. Those guys are gang goofy Gilligans. Gang goofy Gilligans who are misleading men. A beta male gonna sell you a course of masculinity and manhood. And when you take that course, when you pay for that course, all of a sudden you're going to become this alpha male. And you had grown ass men who were dumb enough to believe that if I take this course, I'll become an alpha male. I'll get rich overnight and become alpha. Really? You really thought if you paid for that whack ass course that somehow you was going to become a masculine man and financially stable? You was dumb enough to believe that? Listen, homie, I don't knock the hustle. If you got grown ass men out there dumb enough to buy a masculinity course from a beta male, from a tether / beta male, something is wrong with you. Where's your antennas? Where's your thinking cap?
Profitable because it's less entertaining, less comical, and it's something that's going to degrade my reputation as a man of honor. But as I teach you in the black box, I live by certain principles and values. I'm not loyal to abstractions. I'm loyal to friends, people I deal with, people I do business with. And if you honor me, I honor you. And I'm always the first to show love. So every time
listen, I didn't come to the internet trying to sell y'all nothing. All I did was say, support the content, support the Cash App. But I ain't never tried to sell you no fake ass masculinity courses. Like, you're just going to sign up to my course, sign up for my course, and then you're going to become this alpha male after that. I never sold people a dream like that. Soak up this game and you can become alpha, but I'm not going to tell you buy this course. And after the course, after you read it, after you complete the course, you're going to become this alpha male. Yeah. You got a bunch of beta males that's going to teach you how to become alpha. That is insane.
On their behalf, I'd consult with them. Share the messages they need shared. And when they were in trouble and having psychological challenges about the situation, I'd advise them. And much else, some things that I'm not going to speak on. There's some things that I did for them I'm not going to speak on. And there's some dirty things that they did, betrayal, that I also won't speak on. But just know, for those who have observed over a 7-year period, I've been nothing but supportive, despite all of their challenges and foolishness and betrayal and deceit. And, you know, they said things that are flatly wrong. They said things that are racist and hateful, things that are detrimental. And I never said, hey, let me make a video clarifying or going against what they said. There is no one who can honestly say Marquette was not a great friend to you from day one, and Marquette never changed up on you. The first day you met him, a genuine friend and a genuine servant as a friend.
Yeah, man, but you can't be friends with suckers, man. You got to stay sucker repellent because suckers be telling. Here, coming out your throat, I grab my coat and I'm belling. I'm sucker repellent because suckers be telling. Nah, homie, when you are real, when you can't be cool with suckers, it's contagious. It's contagious. It's outrageous. It's contagious. There's no way that a real one can be friends with suckers like that. You got to remove yourself. Never attach yourself to gang goofy Gilligans like Myron. It is outrageous. It is contagious.
And he kept that consistent the whole way through. And just so you all know, they rode on my reputation, and it's even...
Man, if you look at all the money these people spend with these Gilligans were selling $1,000 courses. You're going to pay for this course that costs $1,000, and all of a sudden you're going to become this alpha male. But the whole time it's a beta male that's selling you the course. Lord Jesus. Oh, man, some of these people are just dumb, too damn dumb for their own good. I said it before and I say it again. If you got money, you can tell people anything. They'll believe you. That's how dumb people are. People, listen, most people in society today, they worship money so much that anybody with money can sell them anything. Well, he has money. He must be right.
Bigger than you think. This is a screenshot from IG, your notifications. These are people arguing in my comment section, and people say, these guys are dweebs. They're nerds.
Hey, man, them nerds ran up a bag. They ran up a bag selling those masculinity courses. They probably made $1 million selling those masculinity courses. And you got men that were dumb enough to buy that crap. a beta male gonna sell you some masculinity courses. Then all of a sudden you're just gonna become you're gonna become the biggest alpha male after you buy the course. They scammed the whole community. Them dudes are scammers. That is false advertising. That is scamming. A certified beta male selling you courses of masculinity and alpha male and how to become an alpha male. Lord Jesus, man, it's unbelievable that these people are that dumb. Well, then again, it's not unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Buy the box. They're ugly. They're gameless and shameless. Why would the big homie deal with them? And then this individual writes, people in the comment section saying, why is the big homie even dealing with them? A lot of your fans and supporters, Marquette, couldn't understand why you were dealing with those gang goofy Gilligans. They just couldn't understand it. They would scratch their head. Sometimes they would come to my comment section and say, Red, what is your thoughts on Marquette being cool with Fresh and Fit? I said, man, I think you already know, homie. The first day you met him, a genuine friend and a genuine servant as a friend. And he kept that consistent the whole way through. And just so you all know, they rode on my reputation, and it's even bigger than you think. This is a screenshot from IG, your notifications. These are people arguing in my comment section, and people say, these guys are dweebs. They're nerds. They buy the box. They're ugly. They're gameless and shameless. Why would the big homie deal with them? And then this individual writes, people like the tech millionaire Marquette Devon wouldn't rock with them if they were not bringing value into people's lives. Yes? So you see, they were riding on my reputation and my goodness and my honor. My name's been good before YouTube. My life's been good before YouTube. I didn't, work as a bacon boy enforcing the laws of a corrupt government and then go into YouTube.
Somebody said this. He said, JP said Saint flipped after Tariq debated Myron. Then all of a sudden he was claiming FBA. I remember when Marquette started claiming FBA. Prior to that, he never really associated with FBA. But after the Myron debate, then, I started seeing him claim FBA. And that's when I knew their friendship would fizzle. It will disappear. Because if Marquette's proud to be a foundational Black American, there's no way that his friendship with Myron is going to last. I've seen it coming. It's like, it's not going to mix. Your way of thinking versus his way of thinking is completely different. It don't mix. The moment I seen Marquette claiming FBA, I said, he going to fall out with Myron sooner than later, for sure. Because if you truly stand for FBA, and you have respect for our ancestors and what they stood for and what they fought for, there's no way you can be cool with a bozo like Myron, because Myron has disrespected foundational Black Americans to the 10th power to the point of no return.
And work at Chick-fil-A and then go into YouTube.
Yeah.
So I put up my name and my reputation for these rascals. So how did we meet? How did it all start? What was the thing that brought us into knowing one another, given that we are so very different? We look different. We dress differently. We're different ethnicities. We have different histories. Our advice is different. Notice I really enjoy history. I'm going to show you the first contact point that I ever had with Amru Fuddle, the guy who goes by a fake name that as Myron.
Oh. Saint in the Center is going to expose his real name. His name, Amaru Fuddin, some stuff like that. Myron Gaines is not even his real name. Let me say it again. Myron Gaines is not his real name. Saint in the Center is going to expose his real name and who he really is. The man been cosplaying.
Gaines. And, the first time I ever encountered him, I didn't remember. And I remember being on a live session and some dweeb came in the live chat, nerd. And in the live chat, he says, "You're trying to be Myron Gaines." I thought that was laughable. Who would want to be Myron Gaines? I mean, that's utterly bizarre.
The fact that somebody said that you're trying to be Myron Gaines, it shows you how goofy most of these subscribers and followers are. They're clueless. They're stupid. They lack vision. They don't have aim. They lack guidance. They lack the understanding. They lack game. These are certified lames. I don't know anybody who wants to be Myron. Seriously.
He's swagless and classless, always wearing a t-shirt. Who would want to be Myron Gaines? Nonsense.
That's what I'm saying.
And then someone else in the live chat wrote, "Marquette wants to be Myron Gaines? Madness! Check out this link." And then you hit the link and it shows years ago, like 2020, I would let people come on, fans, you might call them. And sometimes it would take hours. And so 2 hours in, a fan comes on and
no, it's one thing, like, we know that Satan in the center is not his name. His name is Marquette Devon. He tells you all the time. What I'm saying is, when you come with a name and tell people this is your name, now it'd be one thing if he had an alias, that makes sense. But he went with Myron Gaines as if that was his real name. The thing about it is, we already know why he did it. He's a tether. What do tethers do? Latch on to the culture while being disrespectful at the same time. Looking to extract resources from the community. Let me tell you something, family. Myron, listen, Fresh and Fit has scammed the community, bro. They've been selling these fake ass masculinity courses, getting over on young men, taking advantage of their foolishness, misleading young men, selling them a dream, false dreams. Buy this $1,000 course, and after you buy this $1,000 course, you're going to become an alpha male. You had so many guys who are gameless and brainless, who actually bought that course and thought the end result would be that they'll become this alpha male. They believe that would be the end result if they paid for that course. Crazy. And you had a lot of people who are dumb enough to buy that crap.
You know, it was Myron Gaines. Now, I didn't remember that because I let thousands of fans come on. So this is me 2 hours into a live session, letting fans come on to, greet and give thanks and say whatever's on their mind. And I also want you guys to notice the nature, so humble, so much humility, just a whole different guy.
I'm a content creator myself, bro. Just want to come in and show some love and support, man. I know you're friends with my boy Lucario, so I have to come in and off. So, I just got to come in and show support, bro. That's really what it is, man. So it's cool that you're doing this, though, bringing the people on and talk with them and everything like that. So,
well, do forgive me for getting to you so late. I didn't want to cut anyone off.
No, bro. No, the other people waited their time, bro. I don't take offense at all to that, man. Don't even worry.
Absolutely. What kind of content do you create?
I do. I have a fitness channel, and I also teach.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Fresh and Fit scammed the hell out of these weak ass men. They got a whole bag. I ain't talking about a small bag. They got a big old bag selling those fake ass masculinity courses. You had grown ass men who actually bought it. Those masculinity courses was $1,000. And just think about it. You got over 1 million subscribers. You got well over 1 million subscribers. And you get thousands of people to sign up for that $1,000 course. Oh my God, you're going to get a big bag. Fresh and Fit has scammed the hell out of these lanes. A beta male has found a way to sell masculinity courses to gullible, weak men. And it worked. It actually worked. These dumbass men paid for the course.
It's about that's why I found your stuff, because I was like, I have very similar views on dealing with chicks, bro. I'm here in Miami, so
he has very similar views on dealing with chicks. Well, Marquette, why does he have very similar views to you, Marquette? That's because he learned from me. I was his teacher. That's why he has very similar views. In fact, if you listen closely, you can hear my words coming out of his mouth. Yet he never quotes me. It's very strange. In fact, there have been many times on Twitter that people would.
You know what that's like? That's like a simp telling you he's going to write a book and teach you how to be a pimp, and you're dumb enough to buy that book. A simp comes up to you and say, hey, man, I got love for you. I'm going to sell you this book, and after you read this book, you're going to become a pimp. By the way, the book is $1,000. Oh, I could really be a pimp if I read this book. I can become an alpha male if I read this book. Yes, you can. But you gotta pay a fee today. Well, what is the fee? You gotta pay a very low fee. You gotta pay a fee of $1,000. I gotta pay $1,000. If you want to be an alpha male, you're gonna pay for this course. You will be an alpha male in no time. Just pay $1,000 for the course. Okay, where do I sign up? Booyah, there it go. Now you get money.
Forward a tweet to me, and he would quote me verbatim, but never acknowledge it. And people were in the comments saying, Marquette said that. Why are you pretending as though you said that?
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on now. So you heard right there, he came onto he waited 2 hours just to get on screen, waited 2 hours to pay homage and respect. And I said, hey, what kind of content do you do? I'm a kind, pleasant gentleman interested in this young man coming up. He'd been watching for a very, very long time, studying. That was Myron Gaines. He had been watching for some time. And as you can see,
sure. All you got to do is buy this course. You'll be an alpha male in no time. Well, how much does it cost? $1,000. Oh my God, $1,000. That's a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. $1,000 is worth you becoming an alpha male, man. You get that paycheck and you run me that $1,000, you'll become an alpha male in no time.
On this is back from 2020. And I think I've told this story before to maybe some of the saints in person, because people ask me, how did you meet? So this is 2020. And you can see that Walter's account was disabled. And I have a hunch on why it was disabled. We'll talk about that in a moment. But he had messaged me in September, and I responded in December. And it was actually by chance that I responded. The reason that I responded is because at the time I was living in Las Vegas like a super player, mayor of Saint City, Las Vegas, you dig. And I was going to fly to Spain, and there were 2 women I wanted to make some arrangements with. And when I'm not actively talking to someone, I'll archive the conversation. So I was searching in my restricted messages. There were 2 women I wanted to catch up. One was a gorgeous Spanish actress, fine as all get out. And the other one's a real masterpiece, a genetic marvel, Fatima Diame. Some of you might know her. She's Senegalese by blood, Spanish by nationality. She's a long jumper. She's an Olympic long jumper. So I was planning on going out there and, seeing if I could get her pregnant real quick. So I'm looking through my message requests, trying to find, this Olympic long jumper. And then I come across Walter's message. And what I appreciated about Walter's message is the way that he approached me, and that you
will no longer be a beta male. You will become an alpha male in no time. All you got to do is pay this very low fee of $1,000, buy the course. You will no longer be a beta male. You will become a certified alpha male in no time. Make sure that you purchase the course for a very low price of $1,000. $1,000 to become an alpha male. He sold thousands of books to all these beta males who had dreams of becoming an alpha male. And they were dumb enough to buy the course. They were dumb enough to spend their hard-earned money. And guess what? All of those guys who bought those courses are still beta males themselves today. Nothing has changed.
To spend some money and making an investment. And as you can see, I just made some notes. You can't see what his message was, but he essentially expressed, hey, I'm a huge fan. My partner is also a huge fan, referring to Amru. We watch you religiously, and we just started our podcast, and we'd love to get you as a guest, and, just let us know what we got to pay, and we'll pay it. And mind you, at the time I was going to Spain, Spanish speaking, Miami, Spanish speaking. So I was going to figure, okay, I'll just fly through Miami. I'll stop in. And my assistant was going to go with me. Some of you may have met this particular assistant, tall, slim, white, and Asian. She was in a Tyler, the Creator music video. And so I liked the fact that they were willing to invest in themselves. And so obviously if I'm flying with my assistant. If we're going to get hotels, we got to get 2 hotels. And so I made it so that they didn't have to spend money on all that stuff. Because what I liked about the way he reached out is that he was humble. He was basically like, hey, we're huge fans. We're just getting started. And I was like, this is a young man trying to make it in this world. Let me help him. Let me help him. He's putting in the work.
Saint is telling you how he met Myron and how they became friends. Follow me. Follow the content.
He's doing the right things. Let me make it easier for him. You might say, well, wow, that's really nice of you, Marquette. Why would you do such a thing? He's a stranger to you. Well, if you check my background, you'll find that that is consistently my driving force. My first legal job was working at an after-school program. After university, I went into something called Teach for America, which puts you in the worst schools in the United States of America. I was placed into Baltimore, 98% black school, enormous levels.
See, people are saying that Saint was on the same type of timing, which is why he was cool with them in the first place. Because I said, well, how could Saint be cool with people like that? People said, no, Red, you got to understand Saint was on that same type of timing. That's why he was cool with him. I don't know, man. Give me you guys' thoughts. Do you guys believe that Saint was on the same type of time as Myron? Then once he became FBA, he fell out. Because listen, I'll say within the last year, Saint been talking like, FBA talk. Prior to that, he wasn't talking on FBA. Now, once Saint started talking about FBA, he became more conscious and he separated himself from Myron. But prior to Saint embracing the fact that he's a foundational Black American, he was cool with Myron. Once Saint got on this FBA thing, then that's when his relationship with Myron started to down spiral. Then eventually they cut ties all together. But I already knew from the beginning. I said, whoa, Saint claiming to be FBA. Well, claiming to be FBA and being cool with Myron ain't gonna mix, my buddy. You're gonna have to pick a side. You're gonna have to pick a side, man.
Poverty, 10% of the population on heroin. I went there to help. My professional training is as a teacher. I also founded a nonprofit to help people. That has been my wiring in my history, which also makes me unique within the manosphere self-help space, because I'm the only one that's actually made a career of helping people. Everyone else used to be a reality TV star bootleg version, or they used to sell adult content to men and then turn around and say they're trying to help men. None of their backstories add up. Amru's backstory doesn't add up. You were the police.
And got 300 plus people watching. Get us 300 likes, man. The sooner we get those likes up, the sooner I'll drop the link. But we got to get those likes up. Once we get up to 300 plus likes, then I'll drop the link. Let's get some contributors on the Cash App and the Super Chat as well. How in the hell can a beta male teach you how to be a masculine man, an alpha male? Lessons from a beta male. You know how saying you say lessons from a pimp, lessons from a beta male.
Every time Walter.
Fresh and fit, lessons from a beta male. Who's going to teach you how to become an alpha male in no time? All you got to do is buy this course for the very low price of $1,000.
Would tell his backstory. It was utterly bizarre. You hear, bro, he's like, yeah, I used to work at Chick-fil-A and then I got a Lambo. I'm like, bro, what? It was just, yeah, I was in Barbados and then I worked at Chick-fil-A and then I got a Lambo when I got to Miami. I still don't understand bro's backstory. It's insane. But anyways, he sent me this message and I said, you know what? I'm actually heading to Spain. I'll stop in Miami, my assistant and I'll do your show and I'll tell you everything that I know that can make you successful. And don't pay me a thing. Don't pay me a single penny. I'll see you in a bit. So we schedule it. And this is 7 years ago, mind you. I fly into Miami, my assistant and they pick me up at the airport. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was wearing an Islamic thobe because I was going to shoot over to Spain. And I was going to shoot over to the Kingdom of Morocco. So I was wearing a jalabia. And we, had a short conversation, crashed at the hotel. Next day, went to the studio. I did the show, and this is before they had the girls in the show, so it was just a straightforward interview. And during the interview, I distinctly remember, and you might even be able to see this in the interview, Myron and Fresh were really excited. Like, oh man, this is crazy. crazy. We never had this many people on a live stream before. Like, man, this is crazy, man. Shout out to the Saying the Sinner. And then
So he's giving you the history on how he met Fresh and Fit and how they became friends. I listened to this last night. I said, damn, man, I'm gonna do this first thing in the morning. Because after I did my show last night, I was up for another 2 to 3 hours.
so they had a record-breaking day. Then after that, they said, hey, man, like, you have Patreon? Like, how does that work? And so I said, okay, I'll tell you everything that I know about YouTube, which is not much because remember, at the time I was still running an international corporation with offices throughout the United States and in South Korea and in Puerto Rico. And I was working on a deal with the Chinese government. So I was still a tech CEO. So I was like, I don't know a ton, but I'll tell you what I do know. And I'll be very transparent.
I don't know why men haven't learned their lesson. I've been teaching, and maybe people don't take it serious, but I've been telling you the truth. Money doesn't make men masculine. No amount of money can make a man masculine. You either masculine or you're not. You can't pay for masculinity. Masculinity isn't something that you can pay for. It has to be in you and not on you. You cannot purchase masculinity. Why is it so hard for you men to understand that? You see a guy with money and you think, oh my God, man, you know how many beta males got money? There's tons of beta males and rainbow community members with money. You cannot purchase masculinity. Masculinity is not for sale. You either got it or you don't. As simple as that.
So I was like, hey, this is how many patrons I have. Here are my pricing tiers. This is how much money I have. I opened up the chest as much as you could expect anyone to open up, especially someone who's a stranger. You'd never get this kind of access. So showed them everything, and they were very thankful. And it did change the way they do business, of course. And then I left and went on to Spain to carry on with my affairs. So that's how we met. And they were both remarkably humble. And I remember thinking about, I really like the way these guys comport themselves. They're hardworking, humble guys, and I really hope that they're successful. And I watched them from a distance, and I saw them rising up. And See,
let me tell y'all something. When it comes to masculinity and manhood, the majority of men profess it, but very few men actually possess it. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it registers. When it comes to manhood and masculinity, the majority of men will profess it, but very few possess it. Huh?
Inch that they rose up, I was sincerely happy for them. I want you guys to know that
the problem with you men, you're professing, but you're not possessing. You profess manhood and masculinity, but you don't possess manhood and masculinity. And that's the problem. You profess it, but you don't possess it. That's my confession. Now let's get back to the content. Make sure that you bless that like button soon as you step in the door. Wipe your damn feet off before you step in his house.
Rare.
All this gain coming from my me's out.
That someone who doesn't have to help you volunteers to help you. It's very rare that someone is sincerely happy to see you rise up, even if you pass them. Never once did I think, oh, wow, they're getting bigger than me. I never thought that. I always thought, man, these guys are hardworking. Yes, run it up, keep going, more subs. Yes, get to 1 million. I was loving to see what they were doing. Because remember, I didn't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a tech CEO. I'm not competing with them at any level. But let me rewind this just a little bit to give you a little bit more context. So when I flew in with my assistant, and this was the very first trip in the morning, they had picked me up and we were going to get something to eat. And we drove into a neighborhood called Wynwood. And we pull up, I think we're in, Myron was driving, so presumably we're in his car. We pull up.
Man, these rhymes come from my thing, but I got to protect my intellectual property. I have to patent a lot of things that I've been saying because people be trying to steal my rhymes, and they'll go out there and say it like it's them the whole time. You didn't got up in King Supreme. You profess it, but you don't possess it when it comes to game, manhood, and masculinity. The overwhelming majority of men profess it, but don't possess it. The world is oversaturated with Trick Simpson beta males, very few masculine men.
To the sidewalk to park, and then I open the door and I see a bad little thing. You hear me? Super bad. I hop out, walk up, kicking it. And the reason I did that is because when we pulled up, before we got out, we were like talking a little bit. Then we got out and I saw her just reckless eyeballing a pee. So I went over. I said, "Man, you peeping, but you ain't speaking. What's happening with it?" And she's like, "Oh, that's my boyfriend." I said, "Oh, that's crazy because you were like really staring hard. So, is that real?" And then she just looks at him, and I look at him, ice grill him. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, bro's a sucker. If she was staring at me that hard, like, he's not even a factor. I'm not going to waste the fact that I already walked over here. So then I was like, well, it was nice to meet you. You too. And then walked off. And then these two characters were like, oh, man, like, dude, that guy was big. Like, I had your back. I had your back. This is Myron. I had your back. And then Fresh was like, yeah, me too. Like, if he did anything, I had your back. I'm like, you guys don't even have your own back. How do you have my back? You don't have your own back. Nonsense. And Fresh says, oh, man, like, do you just walk up to girls? Like, you just walk up to them just all the time? I was like, I'm from LA. Like, yes. Like, what do you mean? Do I just walk up to them? Like, you're saying, do I spit game? He was like, yeah, just anytime, anywhere. I was like, yes. I was like, but in that case, Shorty was reckless.
So he's saying like they were surprised that I just cold approached a woman and spit some game. Now, how you gonna teach men how to speak to women, but you're surprised when you see me do it in real time, in real life, all up in the broad face, all in her face like an angry coach, serving her potions and antidotes. It's that Mac Dre right there, man. I'm all in her face like an angry coach, serving her potions and antidotes of this game. Mac can be my profession, man. Stay in your lane. All in her face like an angry coach, serving her potions and antidotes of game.
Eyeball, and I had to. She looked like she needed it in her life. Looked like she seen something she ain't never seen before. I didn't want it to be the last time for her. But I knew that I was dealing with some guys who were ultra lame, because you're in the space where you teach like masculinity and you teach men's self-improvement and you teach game and how to talk to women, but you're shocked that I talked to a woman. You're shocked that I went and talked to a woman. And then bro says this, and I was always honorable with these young men. We're the same age, but I look at them like young men. So he says, oh man, because I really worked the Instagram game. He was like, my IG is like, I figured out how to get your IG popping. I know how to get you verified on IG, and then like it'll, like chicks, they look at your IG and it's just done. It's done. Like it's a wrap. And I was kind of thinking like, that's lame. Like you're basically trying to turn Instagram into a dating app, and you're the one reaching out to the chicks. And
yeah, he did attack Kevin. Like he did. I remember when he attacked Kevin. I remember that. I wasn't a fan of that, but I said, hey man, it is what it is.
It's like what you're trying to do is get the girl based off of clout or perceived wealth, not based on you and who you are, which to me is lame. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Mackin ain't nothing but a thing to me because I'm a OOGPIMP. Mackin ain't nothing but a thing to me because I'm a OOGPIMP. What's your name, Sugar Reed? A, B, C, D. Mackin ain't nothing but a thing to me because I'm a OOGPIMP.
And then he makes his first pitch. He says, oh, I actually got a course on like, I could get you verified. And I was like, I'm already verified. He's like, you're verified on Instagram? I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't have a ton of followers, but I'm verified because I have a lot of articles about me because I'm a businessman. I've been doing business for some time. There's a lot of articles. And when you're in Forbes, like they'll verify you. So I'm verified. He's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And mind you, at the time, I didn't have a lot of followers on Instagram. I couldn't remember how many. Maybe it was like 8,000 or something. But I was verified because there's a lot of news articles about me. I was an international business.
All right, he's an international businessman. So listen, he's breaking down. Now let's go to this part right here.
A nose that has a significant, the nasal passage is very wide. The nose is a bit bumpy, and then it ends in a quintessentially unappealing nose as defined by European beauty standards. So that's an L. And then on top of that, he's not of significant stature. So those kind of things are going to cause him to try to negate the self. Because objectively, like we don't have to say he's ugly objectively, we say us being Westerners, ourselves being at a level victim of white supremacy, he's ugly as measured by what we have been taught as beautiful. So that is going to drive the self-hating behavior. He's going to want to lighten the skin because he feels like he's a couple shades too dark. He's going to want to narrow out the nose, which is going to lead him to the Caucasians. And also because our sisters are so.
Now he's talking about the self-hatred of Fresh and Fit. He's really finna get to the meat and potatoes he's finna get into the meat and potatoes right here. Tap the like button. It ain't nothing. We diving straight in. We didn't already check the temperature. We diving in head first, baby. We didn't already peep game.
Very lost. Our black women, our black men are also in disrepair. This is why I do a lot of the work that I do. Our sisters are in such disrepair. He probably suffered a lot of discrimination at the hands of black people, black women telling him that he's unattractive for his West African features. And so ironically, the white supremacy operated in the people around him, which pushed his self-esteem down and instilled the white supremacy in him. And now he enacts it on himself and he tries to basically kill his own genetics. So there's that. Now on to the other one. And that one's a more interesting case, frankly. So let's really dig into that one. So on to Amru Fuddle, who calls himself Myron Gaines. And that's another bit of
Amru Fuddy. That's his name. His name is Amaru Fuddy. His name is not Myron Gaines. Now he's going to speak on how Myron got that hair transplant. Because his hairline was receding. He had a bald spot in the middle and another bald spot in the back. Can you dig that? The man had to go and get a hair transplant. He's not Myron Gaines. His name is Amaru Fuddy. Now imagine that, homie.
Instilled the white supremacy in him. And now he enacts it on himself and he tries to basically kill his own genetics. So there's that. Now on to the other one. And that one's a more interesting case, frankly. So let's really dig into that one. So on to Amru Fuddle, who calls himself Myron Gaines. And that's another bit of comedy. You have this very, very ethnic name, Amru Fuddle, and then you change it to Myron Gaines. We see that you're trying to escape culture. And probably we should pull up some of the photos of him being on the crew team and sitting in white men's lap. So let's take a look at Amru Fuddle. This guy, and you know, I really don't appreciate that black folks say like, you are black. No, this nigga ain't black, okay? In fact, I shouldn't even use that phraseology. This individual is not black. Just like culture. And probably we should pull up some of the photos of him being on the crew team and sitting in white men's lap. So let's take a look at Amru Fuddle. This guy.
Now, Saint the Center said he has footage of Myron sitting in white men's lap. We already seen him in a bed hugging a white man in bed. He said, nah, man, it gets worse. I got videos and photos of Myron sitting in white men's lap. Daddy's home to stay. He was already hugged up with a white man in the bed. Saint said, nah, homie, it's more of that. I got videos of Myron sitting in white men's lap. Daddy's home to stay. Daddy's home.
There's that. Now on to the other one. And that one's a more interesting case, frankly. So let's really dig into that one. So on to Amru Fuddle, who calls himself Myron Gaines. And that's another bit of comedy. You have this very, very ethnic name, Amru Fuddle, and then you change it to Myron Gaines. We see that you're trying to escape culture. And probably we should pull up some of the photos of him being on the crew team and sitting in white men's lap. So let's take a look at Amru Fuddle. This guy, and you know, I really don't appreciate that black folks say like, you are black. No, this nigga ain't black, okay? In fact, I shouldn't even use that phraseology. This individual is not black. Just like Joe Biden said, you ain't black. Well, why is that, Marquette? Just look at his features. He doesn't actually look black, but the reason that you call him black is because you're provincial. Most of you have never been outside of Baltimore or outside of Chicago, wherever you're from. And this makes sense because black people are generally low income and not exposed to much. And so they look at him and they mischaracterize him as black. But to me, he looks very much so like an Arab, number one, like a dark Arab, mixed blood, or an Indian, you know, someone that has mixed blood.
His name is not Myron Gaines. It's Amaru Fuddy. Amaru Fuddy is his real name, not Myron Gaines. You've been fooled. You've been bamboozled. Selling you masculinity courses that cost a very low fee of $1,000. You'll become an alpha male in no time. All you got to do is buy the course.
Blood with being an Indian, way more than he looks like a true African. He claims to be Sudanese, and he's really a result of the mixing of blood with Arabs who have invaded that land. He's not Nubian. Proper Sudanese people are Nubian, and Nubians are the people who are pretty epic. In fact, we really say so much about the Egyptian pyramids. There are more pyramids in Sudan than there are in Egypt. These are the original pyramid builders. We could talk about that another day. But he's a mixed blood mongrel, and he got all of the worst features that you would get from the mixing, and they're very prominent Arab features. We were just talking about West African features and some of the worst aspects of them. Now we're going to talk about Arab features and some of the worst aspects of those. So let's take a look real quick. So number one, looking at the first image, we see that his upper lip is non-existent. And this is one of the clear indicators that he is in fact not black. Blacks, such as myself, we have an upper lip. You know, this is very common among blacks. We have lips, we have upper lips. Even when
I would ask Saint in the center, man, why did you decide what made you expose Myron now? I mean, he's gotten away with this nonsense for a long time and you didn't say anything. I was waiting for you. Listen, homie, I was waiting for Marquette to expose this dude a long time ago. I guess late is better than never. Late is better than never. But we've been waiting for this for a long time, Marquette. We was wondering, when is it going to come? When will Marquette expose this lane? Because if you're an FBA brother, there's no way that you should co-sign this. You should never co-sign this level of buffoonery as a foundational black American. I'm just being real with you, homie. Never co-sign the level of buffoonery that comes from Fresh and Fit, not as a foundational black American, no way. This clown should have got exposed a long time ago. He's been misleading men, selling you these fake masculinity courses, selling you courses for a very low price of $1,000, and maybe you can become an alpha male after you make the purchase, after you buy this course. You'll become an alpha male in no time. But make sure that you're spending that $1,000. Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Oh, we have lips, and lips are a beautiful feature. This is why the Europeans go get their lips pumped up. And it's really, you guys got to stop doing that. You Eastern European girls, you look terrible. So he doesn't have an upper lip. Now, what makes that really unfortunate is the lip is a protrusion, right? It sticks out from the face. Not too much if you have proper sized lips like mine. But what happens when you have a nose like his, and I want to point out a couple things, and this looks very primitive, like Neanderthal type stuff. The Arabs all, and the Europeans as well, will have this. They'll have a nose. They'll have a nose that shoots straight from this brow. So from the brow, the nose shoots straight down. It does not have the beautiful, ideal sloping.
Now, how many people believe that Marquette was playing chess? Maybe he said, I'm going to get my subscribers up. I'm going to deal with these guys. I'm going to get some more business connections. I'm going to get my subscribers up. And then I'm going to expose these guys for the frauds they are. How many of you guys believe that Marquette took that approach? He knew they was gang goofy Gilligans, but he said, I'm going to use them until I don't want to use them no more. Then sooner than later, I will expose them for the frauds that they are. Because some could easily say that. Nah, Marquette was just using them, going along with them. Once he got his subscribers up, then he's going to expose them. He tolerated their buffoonery until he got his numbers and money up. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just a thought. I'm just speculating. Give me your thoughts in the comments.
With my profile, like my profile looks like what the doctor is going to make you. Like you take your goofy butt into the rhinoplasty surgeon, like, give me a Marquette Devon Burton. Like, that's what you're going to want. You heard me? You are never going to go in there like, give me the nigga looked like Jafar off of Aladdin. Like, the nigga looked like he should be an extra on Slumdog Millionaire. You're never in life going to be like, give me one of them joints that start right here and just shoot straight down. Hell nah. You need that beautiful curvature, right? So he has that Neanderthal joint that just shoots straight from the brow.
Somebody said, nah, he was cool with him. I don't think he was playing chess. I think he was really cool with him. Hey, man, I love to get y'all thoughts because we all have different opinions and different views. Some people say, nah, Marquette just used him until he got his numbers up. Then he skedaddled. Capiche? Some people say, nah, he was really rocking with them guys. But once he became FBA, he had to go against them. But originally, he was cool with him. That's what a lot of people are saying. I see it in the comments. Anyway, let's get back to the content.
Very unattractive. So his nose protrudes quite a bit. This is common in some European types and some Arab types. And we're just speaking in terms of broad anthropological racial categories. So when you have the protruding nose, the pointy protruding nose that is also, it's kind of bony, as you can see with mine, you know, even despite all of the boxing and the combat sports, it's quite smooth, even though I have scar tissue. But his, you see the boniness in the nose is very unattractive, and it's very much so highlighted here. This is an Arab looking nose. This is not a black nose. There's nothing about this that it looks African in nature, whether it would be West or East African. So that being the case, the protrusion of the nose shooting from the brow bone in concert with the upper lip, which is thin and becomes even thinner upon smiling, it totally disappears. That keeps on. It totally disappears. That is unattractive because you got the nose poking out, but you got the lip is flat. It would be better, more balanced if you had the nose poking out and you had lips, right? Or if you had a normal sized nose and smaller lips, it could look good, but fuller lips are more attractive, we know. So that's a challenge for him. Furthermore, you look at the hairline. Now, me personally, when my hairline left the building, I was like, okay, we cutting it all off. I'm gonna be a bald head lover because I'm a man. As a man, I don't wear makeup. As a man,
hey man, you know, man, I didn't settle some of this stuff with Taz, but I remember Taz said this back in the day, and it was funny. Taz said, I'm gonna go to the barber to get me a hairline. Don't get mad at me, Taz, but I had to slide that in there, brother. We ain't gonna make videos going back and forth, but I had to use that because I'm looking at Myron's hairline. I did a video, me and Taz is going back and forth, and he, you know, he needed a haircut. It was looking real crazy. Taz did a video 2 hours later. He said, guess what? I'm going to go to the barber to get me a hairline. Hey, man, that shit was hilarious. I'm going to go to the barber to get me a hairline.
I don't do surgeries to look cute. And he still got done by it. That's crazy. Just imagine you just spent all your money, went through surgeries, and the broad still left. That's madness. But as a man, I live life as a man, as a confident man.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, man, I roasted Taz so bad in that video about having that dusty ass haircut. It was looking crazy, looking like he come fresh out of the Sudan. Man, I said, hey, man, that joke got to Taz so bad he had to do a video about it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be wanting to talk all that on social media, but guess what? I'm gonna go to the barber to get me a hairline. That shit was hilarious. It was a classic.
As a masculine man, this little girl start getting that balding, and you can see that hairline, man, it left the building. It's way back here. So what he did was Brody went to Dr. Miami. He got his hairline right. But the funny thing is it seemed like it's going back out. It's going back out. But he got the hairline right, but that does nothing for the upper lip, which is still non-existent, and the nose that shoots from the brow bone. He's going to need rhinoplasty. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting that thing modified here and there. But here's the challenge. Rhinoplasty is a very unpleasant, painful surgery, so I don't recommend it, Myron. Just keep the face that you got, nigga. I don't recommend it at all. Also, those ears are kind of big and protruding too, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, he looks very Arab. And so in a bad way, not in a good way, in a bad way. So what he's going to try to do as well is to negate that and try to get some features that align with the dominant culture. Now, his psychology is a little more different than Fresh's, and it's important because Fresh could be mistaken for a foundational Black American. And mind you, the foundational Black American is the most influential culture ever, disproportionately influential. So he can come to America, Fresh, or Walter Weeks, and he can be mistaken for one of us. Whereas
when did Marquette started claiming FBA? Was it like 2025? I believe it was like the beginning of 2025 when he first started claiming to be a foundational Black American, because prior to that, Marquette used to make content kind of going in on Black people, and he had a lot of white friends. So a lot of people would say, we understand why he's cool with Fresh and Fit. But within the last year, he's been making more content that's conscious. He's been making more content like FBA content, calling out tethers, repping foundational Black Americans. Now, I've seen him do this maybe like within the last year. That's when I started seeing him do FBA content. Prior to that, he was cool with Fresh and Fit. But when Marquette started doing FBA content, repping FBA, that's when he really just fell apart with him and Fresh and Fit just fell out. Because Fresh and Fit looking like, damn, man, where did all this FBA stuff come from? I made content going in on FBA. Now you're claiming to be FBA as my friend? Myron didn't like the fact that Satan and Sinner was repping FBA. And that, I believe that had something to do with them falling out. That's my honest opinion. Let's get back to the content.
Amru comes here and niggas is like, who's Jeet? Niggas say his name is Myron Gaines. You're like, no. Hi, I'm Myron Gaines. You're like, no. You expect this nigga to like, my name is Rajjeet Pajneesh. You expect the nigga to say something like that. And so he can't fit in. But also he has immigrant parents. So his immigrant parents are coming into a country that's dominated by whites, 60% of the population, and a much greater portion of the wealth, because they enjoyed primitive accumulation at the beginning of the country when they enslaved the blacks and created genocide on the natives. So they've stacked up some money over time. So they're completely dominant. And every people are going to look up to, admire, and emulate the dominant class. So if you're a foreigner,
I think Marquette had an awakening in too, because he used to make content kind of like, some of it was like, damn, man, this sounds kind of like raccoonish. I got to be real, and that's my observation, but I got to be real. I got to keep it real. He used to make content that was borderline coonish. Then within the last year, he started making FBA content. He became more conscious within the last year or so. That's my observation. I don't know about y'all.
Coming into America, you're of course going to want to fit in with those who are winning. But in his unique case, he doesn't look like a Black American. And he's a part of a real minority. If he was Latino, if he was an Hispanohablantes, then he could fit in with the Spanish speakers. He could hang out with the Latinos. But he's not Latino. He doesn't look Latino. He's certainly not white, doesn't look white. He's not Black, doesn't look Black. So he's left to being a ultra minority, a micro-nority. I just made up that word. Nigga's a micro-nority. Very small group. So he completely sheds his culture because to maintain being Sudanese would cause him to be a part of a very small, insignificant, powerless group. And he'd have to be associated with a group that is known for Islamic terrorism, right? Because you guys are Muslims, right? Or associated with a group that's known for being victim of genocide and being blue, Black, and disenfranchised. Both really bad things. So instead of acknowledging his roots, which are very, very unfavorable, he'd much rather pretend to be white adjacent when he couldn't be farther from white because he's a recent immigrant, be white adjacent so that he can then associate with the winners, and then has the nerve to look down upon and insult foundational Black Americans when foundational Black Americans are in a much better state than his own people, the whole lot of them, the whole country. And
right, he has the nerve to talk about foundational Black Americans when foundational Black Americans are doing way better than the people in his homeland. But he got the nerve to come over here and talk greasy about us. This is why I said, Marquette, you should have checked this clown a long time ago. If you a foundational Black American, you don't let a clown like this talk greasy about your people. He's a coon. He's a certified buffoon. There's no room for individuals like that in our community. You should have called this bozo out a long time ago. Got the nerve to disrespect foundational Black Americans. knowing damn well that your parents fled Sudan to give you a better life. You came over here to benefit off of the civil rights that FBA fought for. How dare you disrespect foundational Black Americans?
Right? Because you guys are Muslims, right? Or associated with a group that's known for being victim of genocide and being blue, black, and disenfranchised. Both really bad things. So instead of acknowledging his roots, which are very, very unfavorable, he'd much rather pretend to be white adjacent when he couldn't be farther from white because he's a recent immigrant, be white adjacent so that he can then associate with the winners, and then has the nerve to look down upon and insult foundational Black Americans when foundational Black Americans are in a much better state than his own people, the whole lot of them, the whole country. And really, he doesn't have a people because he's of mongrel blood and he's a part of an invading people that's being funded by the UAE. Come on now. Yes, Arabic speakers.
Get them likes up, man. We got 600 some people watching. Let me see how many likes we got. Now, I know we got a gang of, we got to have a gang of haters on me because there's no way we got 600 some people watching and we only got 270 some people who blessed that damn like button. 257 people that blessed that like button. We got 600 plus people in the building. You guys are tripping. We got a bunch of people. We got a whole bunch of people who hate watching. Your gang goofy Gilligans, bless that damn like button.
In Sudan and Nubia, that's not a place where Arabic is the true language. Those were conquering people. Come on now. So that's where his identity crisis comes from. You're welcome. Thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. I hope that was plenty informative. Anyways, let's get back to this work. Oh, yes. Shout out to Teddy with the bowler alert. He writes, Saint, I definitely want to hear about when you tried to set up the debate with Tariq. And I remember driving to Tampa vividly, listening to the playback of that live. Yeah, that was, man. And when you guys hear that story, you're going to realize how truly rotten of a person Myron and Fresh are. These guys are truly rotten. They are not good people at any level. Shout out to Brad. Came in supporting the work via Venmo. May also acknowledge Ramon. He writes, please keep bringing the evidence in the dark to light. Absolutely. Shout out to Justin. He writes, peace of saints. Keep it going, sir. Sir, yes, sir. May I acknowledge John. He writes, keep it going. Fresh is the low-hanging fruit. Go in on the self-hating ninja. Yes, indeed. And the funny thing, too, is when you're hearing from, Fresh and Myron, their backgrounds are so checkered. In Fresh's case, he used to be a stepdaddy. Yes, it's true. He used to be a stepdaddy to some Latina who was using him. And, just like the little chap earlier who was like, they give great advice. They say, spend your money to get your girl. Look at their outcomes. Their outcomes are terrible.
Now, he said Fresh used to be a stepdaddy, right? No, I know a lot of you guys said, man, stepdaddies are simps. Now, shout out to my women, but I got to be honest. I got to ask the brothers an honest question. How many guys in the comment section feel like stepdaddies are simps? Now, Fresh doing videos telling you about single mothers when he was just a stepdaddy paying for Punani. Fresh was once a stepdaddy who paid for Punani. But now he's going to come to YouTube and sell you courses of masculinity and how to become an alpha male. But prior to YouTube, he was just a stepdaddy being played by some 304 who used him to provide for her kid. You did. How many men in the comment section feel like stepdaddies are simps? How many men in the comment section say, nah, man, these kids need stepdaddies. They need father figures. I don't mind being a stepdaddy. I don't mind being that kid's pappy. Give me your honest thoughts in the comments. Ladies, don't get mad. You want to hear the truth from these brothers, not the lies.
How's that not dawning on you? I feel sorry for people that dumb. Actually, I don't, to be honest with you. But anyways, carrying on. Let's get back to this work. You guys actually got my slides out of order with that one, so let me get these slides back in order, and we shall proceed. Oh, yes.
How many men in the comment section wouldn't mind being a stepdaddy? How many men in the comment section said, hell no, I ain't gonna be no stepdaddy. I don't want to be your kid's pappy. Your kid is another man's responsibility. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah.
Oh yes, let's talk about it. This gets good. Let's talk about it.
He said it's a thankless job. My man said, Hugh Jasso said it's a thankless job with no benefits. Not simping, just some ninjas lack discernment. Russell Wilson, huh? See, ladies, I'm trying to let you know what the men really think. See, when you come to my channel, you're going to get the truth about how men really think. We're not going to lie to you just to get the punani. We're going to be honest with you so you can take it or reject it or whatever you want. Accept it or reject it, whatever you want. Now he's going to tell you like how Walter Fresh knocked up this 304, this scandalous slower who was only after his money, but he went raw in the punani. He impregnated a slower, a 304 that was only after his money. Then he turned around and went raw up in that punani. He paid for sex. Now imagine a guy who pays for sex selling you courses of masculinity, selling courses teaching you how to be an alpha male, and the guy that's selling you the course is a beta male who spends money on punani, 304s and slowers. But he's going to sell you courses of masculinity. He's going to teach you how to become an alpha male, even though Fresh is a beta male who pays for punani. Yeah, true story. He's going to teach you how to become an alpha male in no time for the very low price of $1,000.
Oh yes. Oh yes, let's talk about it. This gets good. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
I remember this one vividly. This is a funny story. They're all funny stories. This is a funny story. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed this one. The reason I enjoyed this one is because of the way it unfolded. And you guys know in the YouTube game, whoever can break the news first, you get all the views. If you know something that nobody else knows and then you break it, you're the source. You get all the views and thereby the revenue. I knew so many things which I never broke. I mean, like, listen, man, if there was ever a such thing as a real one, good Lord. Let me tell you guys some things. Way before any of you knew of this Chinese bra right here, I knew of her. Marquette, why did you know of her?
Hey, man, shout out to the Blade Monger. The Blade Monger said, Red already know my answer. I respect that, brother.
Fresh and Fit came to Vegas. And they're like, hey, Quet, we're in Vegas. I was like, okay, cool. I'll come get you guys, take you down to the strip, get something to eat, hang out. I go swoop them up in the Maybach, two-tone, called the Green Goblin, green and gold. I swoop them up in the Double M. And we're driving down to the Las Vegas Strip, and I remember it. We're on Flamingo. We're just about to hit the boulevard. We're about to take a ride on the boulevard. Traffic was very slow. And Walter was, again, very pleased with himself and wanted to impress me. And he's shown me his WhatsApp conversation with a beautiful young woman. He's like, yeah, look at this chick, man. He's like, yeah, she's like, used to be like a model, like Miss such and such. And she's a fitness influencer. Yeah, look at her IG. She's like, the body is so perfect. She's in such good shape. And I was thinking that's crazy that she's in good shape. And
I know you're saying ask women the same question, but the difference between men and women, Men with kids are not putting, listen, when you date a man with kids, he don't expect you to provide for his kids financially. Single mothers who got children, if you get with her now, they're going to tell you, I don't need no man to take care of my kids. But if you start dating that woman seriously and you guys move in with one another, you're going to provide for that child. Never mind what she's saying. Let's deal with the reality. Men with children don't demand that women provide for their children. But when you date these single mothers who are struggling financially, they are looking for providers and stepdaddies. That's the difference. Men with children don't require that you provide for their children. So a man with children is not putting that responsibility on you as a woman. But women, on the other hand, a large percentage of single mothers who are struggling will place the financial burden and the responsibility on you. And these are children that she didn't have with another man. So that's the major difference. Women are not expected to provide for a man and his children. But if you get with a single mother, you're going to be expected to provide for that woman and that child. That's the difference. Let's get back to the content. Hopefully that sets the record straight. You don't see men running around saying, I need a woman that's going to help me to provide for these kids. But you do see single moms saying, I need a stepdaddy, a man that's going to help me to take care of these kids, even though the kids ain't his. And I didn't have this kid by a whole nother man, or I had these kids by other men. So what I'm saying to you is this, ladies, men with children don't expect for you to provide for their children. They don't. 9 times out of 10, the mother has custody over the children anyway. But when you date a single mom, she has custody over the children. The children with her most of the time, 99.9% of the time, the children are with her. So if you date her seriously and you guys move in together, you're going to be providing for those children that ain't yours. That comes with the territory. That's the reality. Let's get back to the content, family. Hopefully that clears the air.
Are you? But whatever. Let me see. And I look, I was like, this is a cute girl. She's attractive. And, you know, with a guy like Fresh.
Listen, I'm not talking about a single mom that you're having sex with on a weekend. I'm talking about you're in a relationship with this woman and y'all live together and she has some children. The bills you pay in that house benefit them children. The food that you pay for benefits those children. So if you're in a serious relationship with a single mom, at some point you're going to provide for those kids. That's the reality of it. Now, if you're just sleeping with the woman on a weekend and dating her, then no, the responsibility ain't on you. You just glad to have some panani. Let me tell you something. Single mothers with small babies be some of the horniest freaks you can ever meet. They're not with the baby daddy no more. They got a fresh baby. They want somebody to beat their back out. They want somebody to tap that thing. Single mothers with small children are some of the horniest women you can meet. They're looking for that pipe. They want you to supply that pipe late at night. If you don't believe me, you're going to find out. Hey, man, you're going to mess around and find out. Single mothers with small children are some of the most horniest women you could ever meet. I promise you. They with the kids 24/7. They working to pay them bills. They want a man to beat. They want a man to supply that pipe. That's all they looking for, man. Companionship and pipe late at night. That's exactly what they need. True indeed. And ladies, don't get mad at King Supreme for telling the damn truth. How you gonna get mad at a nigga for telling the truth? You get mad at somebody who's lying to you. Don't get mad at somebody that's being honest with you.
You always got to be happy for him. You really do. Just in general. I like to be happy for him. And I was like, this is a nice little piece, man. She's a little older than would be ideal, right? She's a little older than would be ideal, but she's a nice piece. I was like, attractive little thing, and had some nice photos and had a decent Instagram presence. I was like, okay, that's what's up. And then so he said to me, he's like, yeah, man, you know, and mind you, this is before anything came out. So he's speaking well of her. He was like, yeah, you know, and like, dude, he's like, she's all about me. And you're like, look, she even bought my mom some Louis Vuitton. And so it shows her and his mom, and like the mom's holding some Louis Vuitton bags. And I'm kind of thinking like, damn, this is weird, bro. Cause I've never once in life been like, hey, Fresh, bro, let me show you one of my chicks. Like, check out my roster. Like, I've never once done that. I don't get it. I don't think it's necessary. I think women are your private matter. But anyways, so he's like, yeah, look, you know, she bought my mom Louis. Like, she's really into me. She's really about me. She sacrifices. She buys stuff for me. Now, mind you, for those of you who know who he is, even the fanboy, these guys are tricks. So you really can't believe anything when they're talking about a girl that's spending on them. Now, me, I've lived AOB in the realest of ways. You dig? So I'm just over like, okay, cool. And, you know, and it's kind of annoying when you know people are feeding you BS and you're like, yeah, bro, for sure. So anyways, he says to me, he was like, yeah, you know, like, man, body is crazy. He was like, the genetics are good. He was like, you know, I could end up having kids with her because she's attractive, she's in good shape, she's a little older, but you know, like the DNA don't lie. He's like, you know, but she is a Chinese citizen. I was like, oh, where? I was like, where's she at? He's like, she's in China right now. I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, but you know, she wants me to get her apartment in Miami. So you know, I'm thinking about it because you know, I don't really want her living with me because I got my girls coming in and out. So like, yeah, maybe I would get her an apartment. He was like, yeah, but man, the genes are good. I might just get her pregnant. He was like, you know, like I've been hitting that raw. And then we all started dying laughing. I was like, you been going there raw? We started dying laughing, all of us. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, you know, why not? And in my head, I was kind of thinking like, I got a couple reasons why not. Nigga, they call chlamydia, gonorrhea, like syphilis. Like there's a couple reasons not to do that. But that's neither here.
He slid up in that thing raw. He slid up in the 304 raw, but he's going to sell you courses of manhood and masculinity and how to become an alpha male. And you got men who are dumb enough to buy those courses. Just dumb.
There, chuckle, carry on. And then he said, he's like, yeah, you know, like, cause you know, like, he's like, Tate, he's like, yeah, should I tell him what Tate said? And then Mark's like, yeah, Tate said, you know, he doesn't even believe STDs are real. He always goes raw. He only goes raw. So, you know, like, I'm just like, hey, F it. You know, if I get her pregnant, the genes are good. You know, I don't have any kids anyways. Okay, cool. Interesting. So we have that conversation. I don't think too much about it. We carry on with the night. It's a good night. Little while.
Let me tell you something, ladies. You can't say I'm a package deal. That's not a deal. Well, you can say it's a bad deal, but it's, listen. Let me say this to you, single mothers. Stop telling men that you're a package deal because you got children or a kid. That's not a deal at all. Well, maybe a bad deal because think about it. If you deal with a man and he's not the father of your children, a lot of men will pretend to be nice because they want your punani, but they don't want to take the responsibility of providing for your child. You can't even be spontaneous with a woman with kids. So my thing is this now, shout out to you ladies. There are men out there. There's men out there who will date you with children, right? There's some men out there who would do it, but a lot of men are just going to use you for sex. And when the sex get old, they're going to bounce. They don't want to take on the responsibility of dealing with you and another man's child. I'm being honest with you ladies. And if you don't like what I'm saying, go to one of those channels that's going to lie to you and pander to you and pretend like this is not an issue. Go to one of those channels who's going to lie to you and sell you this and sell you false hope and sell you dreams. But if you want the truth, King Supreme TV is the place to be. The reality of it is a lot of these guys might take you on a date. They'll be nice to you. They only want sex. They don't want to wipe you up. They don't want to take you serious for the long haul. They're looking for convenient sex and convenient sex only. They don't want to take care of your children. They don't want to be a stepdaddy. The majority of men just don't want to do it. No, ladies, you have men out there who will do it, but you got a lot of men out there who don't want to do it, but they'll play the role, but they just want the pee hole. But they'll play the role in the meantime like they will, but in reality, they're just there they're there for a fun time, not for a long time. So if you want the truth, King Supreme TV is the place to be.
Later. Now, mind you, none of this has come out to the public yet. And mind you, I don't watch their show or their various channels or their IRL.
You got a chick talking about young and dumb. Here's a woman in the comment section who's allergic to the facts. If I ask 50 men right now who don't mind being a stepdaddy, the majority of them will say no. Now, some men will lie to get the punani, but this is why those relationships never work. And you wonder why they don't work, because a lot of men don't want to be stepdaddies, but they're not going to be real enough to tell you, because if they tell you that, then they're not going to get sex. So you got men who will pretend like they don't mind being a stepdaddy, but they're only saying that to get the punani. They're not looking to get married. It's not my fault that you're allergic to the facts, lady. I'm telling you the truth. Now, if you want somebody that's going to sell you a dream and lie to you, there's plenty of channels you could go to. Over here Over here, I'm gonna tell you the damn truth. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. The truth is the truth. The truth don't give a damn about your feelings. When you call a man fat and ugly, nobody cares about a fat man's feelings. Nobody cares about a broke man's feelings. Nobody cares about a dusty man's feelings. Nobody cares about a man's feelings. Which is why it's so important for us to be honest with these ladies so that they're not living in delusional land, Delulu land. You know how women say living in Delulu, how women love to say? I'm being honest with you. A lot of men just want your panani. They don't want to be a stepdaddy. They'll pretend like they don't mind being a stepdaddy. They're only playing a role to get the punani. They don't want to be a stepdaddy. The majority of men don't, especially in 2026. That's something that you ladies must understand. The truth shall set you free.
Content or their social media. So I never know what's going on in real time or when you guys know. I just know from interactions with them generally what's going on. So anyways, sometime later, I'm doing a show with them. And I always show up early because when I'm doing business, I'm going to be on time, which means early. So I show up to do a pod and I get there and I'm talking to another person who will remain unnamed out of respect.
I appreciate this sister right here. And she said it the truth. She said it. I am Alex Fowler. She said, most women will ignore this advice because most women don't like the truth. Women like to be lied to, which is why they flock to channels who pander to them and say nice things. But those channels are never honest with them. I appreciate the fact that you know what the truth is. She said most women will ignore this advice. And you're damn right. The majority of them will ignore this advice. You know what they're going to do? Instead of them taking my advice and say, damn, that man is telling the truth, they're going to get offended and tell other women to stop listening because he's bashing black women. They're going to say that I'm bashing black women instead of taking the advice so that they don't become single mothers in that same position that they don't want to be in. The majority of women will not take the advice. They're going to get offended. Always looking for something to get offended. Always offended by something, but won't take advice, won't take heed to the beautiful advice that will save your life. I have no reason to lie to you, ladies. I'm telling you, the majority of men don't want to be stepdaddies. Some men will play the role to get the punani, but they don't want to be stepdaddies. Not for real. The majority of men don't. So what am I saying to women? Be careful. Stop having babies with niggas who don't want to marry you. Stop having babies with men who don't want to marry you. Then you won't have this problem. You get pregnant by a man, you get pregnant and you never required marriage, and then you wonder why it's so hard for you to get married later. Maybe a simp, maybe a trick, but masculine men are not looking to be stepdaddies, not for the most part. Now, you have a small percentage of men who might do it, but the majority of men don't want to do it. Take heed to the information, ladies. Take heed to the advice that I'm giving you. I'm not bashing you. I'm telling the truth. I'm trying to help your crazy ass out. I'm trying to help you to avoid bad situations, but you won't listen. Instead, well, I don't know. It sounds like he's bashing black women. I'm giving your dumb ass some advice. I don't know. I think he's bashing black women. Man, please. You better wake up and smell what's going on before you get lost in the damn sauce.
And so I'm talking to him, and he mentions that Fresh has this situation that's stressing him out. Then Fresh and Myron show up, and then Fresh first thing is like, yeah, you know that Chinese girl I showed you, like, man, she's trying to finesse me. She's claiming that she's pregnant. I don't even know if she's pregnant. And I'm trying to think, like, should I have it? Should I not have it? I'm trying to convince her not to have it. And I told her I was going to get her an apartment in Miami. And now she's pressing me. And I was just really just finessing her. And the next thing you know, this man's just spilling his guts, right? So then he tells me that he was like, yeah, and you know, like, this girl's like really gold digging on me, man. And we kind of like find out that she's like maybe an escort or something, but I didn't know. I just thought she was a regular girl. And then I was like, well, how'd you meet her? He was like, and I forget what he said. I think maybe he said Tinder. I think he said Tinder, if I recall correctly, which was obviously a lie. And he's like, yeah, you know, we have this video of her and we're like thinking like maybe
I'm gonna let these women get ran through and ghosted because they don't want to take heed to the game that I'm giving them. They don't want to take heed to the advice I'm giving them. Instead of them saying, you know what, Red is right, let me take heed to advice. You know what they say, you know what they say instead of know what they say instead? He's bashing black women. They don't want to take heed to the information. He's bashing black women. I'm not going to listen to Red Supreme no more. Okay, well, learn the hard way. Go out there, take your monkey ass out there to the streets and see what happens. You're going to learn a valuable lesson, but by that time, it's going to be too damn late. You're going to be pushing 40 with children, a single mom looking to get married, and your chances of getting married to the type of man that you want to get married to are slim to none at that particular point, because you screwed up, you messed up, you didn't take heed to the information. It is your fault at that particular point.
We should put out the video. Maybe we don't put out the video. It just depends on what she's trying to do. I'm talking to a lawyer right now. He's saying that she's not an American citizen, so she probably can't get me for child support. And she has a visa. She doesn't have a work visa. It's a tourist visa. So she should have to go back to China. And hell, if she has a baby and it's in China, then like it's doesn't affect me and no child support. So then I'm good. But then maybe if she tries to overstay the visa and then she has the baby here, then the baby gets birthright citizenship and then she can apply for citizenship more easily and then she can get me for child support. Damn, I'm not even sure what I should do. What do you think I should do, Marquette? And in my head, I'm thinking, well, first off, nigga, you can't be going raw with these women of the night. If she sells cat for a living, and I don't mean she work at Petco or a pet store, if she's selling El Gato, you can't be going in there raw like that, my nigga. Like, that's a death sentence, nigga, right? Like, you gonna be like Willie Lump Lump. I don't even feel good having a conversation with you right now. Nigga, you need to scoot over a little bit. So the point is, that's number one. Nigga, what was you thinking? Talking about Tate said STDs don't exist. Y'all niggas are insane. Anyways, so he then says he thinks she's just trying to finesse him out of some money because she's pressuring him to get the apartment for her. And then he said that he told her, well, why don't you just move in with me? He's like, I'm just trying to like not spend any more money. And then if she moves in with me, she's not on the lease. I can just kick her out when I want to. Okay. Then he says he got her a Van Cleef bracelet. And me, I actually often don't know much about certain brands. Like if I'm not walking down the Champs-Élysées, if I'm not in Monaco, if I'm not seeing it in, fill in the blank place, then I don't know about the brand. Like if it's not like I'm, walking down the boulevard in Monaco, I see Hermes and Goyard and all this. Like I'm familiar with it. I see it. But other things like Van Cleef, I was like, what is that? And he says, oh, it's like a.
See, he went up in his woman raw, and she was only after his money. You got a beta male selling you courses of masculinity and how to be an alpha male. Imagine you spending $1,000 on a course on how to be an alpha male, and a beta male is the one who's selling you the damn course. He went up in his hood rat. He went up in his 304 raw. Didn't know her from a can of paint. Went up in his woman raw. And then she was trying to extort this clown for money. But then he want to sell courses on manhood and masculinity and how to become an alpha male for the very low price of $1,000. You got a bunch of gang goofy Gilligans who are dumb enough to buy that course.
Jewelry, an expensive jewelry brand, kind of like Tiffany, but they have their different stuff and it's really expensive. I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, like I was finessing her. So, and this is again, finessing her. Yeah. Okay, buddy. You think you finessing me with this fake story. He was like, yeah, I bought her the bracelet and it was like 17,000, like 17,800, something like that, about 17,000.
Imagine buying masculinity courses from a beta male.
But I bought it on my Amex and then I charged it back because I never signed the receipt. So I bought it, but I had her sign the receipt and then I just charged it back. So she got the bracelet. I got my money back. It's a finesse. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know, nigga. That don't sound like a finesse to me. That sounds like you spent 17,000 on a random bill. for no good reason. And now she's trying to get more money out of you, nigga. It sounds like she was like, I hit a lick. She telling all of her friends at home in China. She talking to Young Thin Wong and Soup Waba Tubi and telling everybody. She over here like, no, yeah, very black, very big nose, a lot of money, ugly, but very rich. And they're like, oh, she's like, yes, very black, big King Kong Dong. So she telling all of her people, and they're like, well, shit, hey, roll with it.
Me find a trick, fresh and feet. He's a trick. I hit a leg. He's a bigger sucker in blow pop. Yeah. He got money long, love me long time. He has money. She told her people that she didn't mess around and hit a lick off this certified trick. Imagine buying masculinity courses from a beta male. I found a trick and hit a lick. He's gonna love me long time. He has a lot of money. Money long, love me long time. I'm gonna get citizenship and money.
And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to milk this nigga. This nigga thinks I'm even pregnant. I'm about to milk me some fame and try to get him.
He allowed a Chinese 304, a certified slur, to use him for opportunities and money. He went up in her raw. He skeeted. He skeeted. He didn't skedaddle. You know what I'm saying? You ejaculated in her. You impregnated her. She was a certified 304, a slur who only used you for the money. She wasn't out there looking for love. She was looking for money and citizenship. Can you dig it?
To give me some more money. And so this rascal is trying to basically get her to abort a baby that in all likelihood does not exist, right? And that's when the story broke publicly, was not too long after that, because she chose to go. Now, I had this like a long time in advance. I could have went public. But again, it's about friendship and being private. I didn't even mention this to my assistant. I didn't mention this to anybody. I just kept it G between us. It's respect. It's honor. It's something that these guys don't understand at all. So anyways, the truth, I'll tell you guys what the truth is of that situation, because I saw these guys several times, and I also counseled them counseled Fresh on this a few times. And the truth got patched together the more we spoke, because you got to remember your lies, which can be kind of difficult. The truth is that they use one of those seeking arrangement kind of websites. She was a woman of the night. He was too excited to be with an attractive woman. He didn't use protection. He tried to turn a trick dynamic into a real relationship. She kept trying to milk him for money and did not want to be a proper girlfriend. She wanted to.
He tried to turn a trick in a 304 relationship into a real relationship. She was a slur, a 304 who was only after your money. Love me long time. I get money. I get citizenship. I got a baby. I get money. He's a big black guy. Love me long time. He spends money. He tried to turn a trick dynamic into a real relationship. This woman was a slur and a certified 304. She was only after the money. She didn't love you, dummy.
Extract.
She was looking to extract money and resources from this dummy. And come to think, you got dumbass men who bought masculinity courses from a beta male for the very low price of $1,000. Masculinity courses from a certified beta male who paid a slur, who paid a certified 304 to enter her wound. He love me long time. He's a black guy. He got long money. He love me. I gotta get him for the money. I had a baby. I get citizenship. Love me long time.
When the story broke publicly was not too long after that, because she chose to go. Now, I had this like a long time in advance. I could have went public. But again, it's about friendship and being private. I didn't even mention this to my assistant. I didn't mention this to anybody. I just kept it G between us. It's respect. It's honor. It's something that these guys don't understand at all. So, anyways, the truth, I'll tell you guys what the truth is of that situation, because I saw these guys several times and I also counseled Fresh on this a few times. And the truth got patched together the more we spoke, because you got to remember your lies, which can be kind of difficult. The truth is that they use one of those seeking arrangement kind of websites. She was a woman of the night. He was too excited to be with an attractive woman. He didn't use protection. He tried to turn a trick dynamic into a real relationship.
Yeah.
She kept trying to milk him for money and did not want to be a proper girlfriend. She wanted to extract. She lied about being pregnant and tried to leverage that to get more money out of the goofball. He 100% bought her a Van Cleef bracelet and spent like 17.8 on her. And I don't think he got his money back from American Express, because they do give you a lot of favors and they'll do you a solid, but they ain't stupid, right? Like, they ain't dumb. So I think that he was down about 17.8, but I don't think that hurt him, which doesn't.
He spent 17,000 on a bracelet. Now you can say it ain't tricking if you got it. Bullshit, it is tricking. It's tricking. I don't give a damn if you got it or not, because women like that ain't worth the damn money. I don't give a damn if it was $100. She ain't worth the money. That's the dumbest crap I ever heard in the world. It ain't tricking if you got it. Yes, it is, you fool. These women don't give a damn about you. I bet money she wouldn't spend 17 racks on your dumb ass. I guarantee she wouldn't sit up there and spend her hard-earned money on you. So what do you mean? It ain't tricking if you got it. You're damn right it is. That broad wouldn't spend a damn dime on your black ass, fool. She's using you.
You should do it several times, and I also counseled Fresh on this a few times. And the truth got patched together the more we spoke, because you got to remember your lies, which can be kind of difficult. The truth is that they use one of those seeking arrangement kind of websites. She was a woman of the night. He was too excited to be with an attractive woman. He didn't use protection. He tried to turn a trick dynamic into a real relationship. She kept trying to milk him for money and did not want to be a proper girlfriend. She wanted to extract. She lied about being pregnant and tried to leverage that to get more money out of the goofball. He 100% bought her a Van Cleef bracelet and spent like 17.8 on her. And I don't think he got his money back from American Express, because they do give you a lot of favors and they'll do you a solid, but they ain't stupid, right? Like, they ain't dumb. So I think that he was down about 17.8, but I don't think that hurt him, which doesn't mean you should do it, right? It doesn't mean you should do it. I've done a lot of things that didn't hurt me, but I was kind of like, damn, I don't know if I should have did that. So that was a whole fabricated story, which all of it boils down to bad decision-making, low self-esteem, inability to select and manage women, and then lack of character, which makes snowball even worse. Those are the things I talk about in the big game.
Now imagine you got dumbass men who paid for masculinity courses from a beta male. You let a beta male sell you masculinity courses, and he out here paying for the punani, talking about it ain't tricking if you got it. I got it in my pocket, so it ain't tricking because I got it. Now imagine a beta male like this selling you masculinity courses. He's going to teach you how to become an alpha male in no time for the very low price of $1,000.
So you don't end up in that situation. Anyone could end up in that situation. And frankly, it's more likely that I would end up in a situation like that, not with a woman of the night, obviously, but more likely I would end up in a situation like that because I just have way more volume of women than Fresh. But I've not ended up in a situation like that. And maybe one day I do, but who cares? I'm going to keep it player, you dig? But that is not the person who should be teaching. The one who's not using a condom, sleeping with a woman who gets paid to sleep with people. Come on, man. It's filthy. It's disgusting. It's dangerous. And it shows how much you hate the self when you would sacrifice your life and your future for a few moments of passion. It's truly sick and it's despicable. Anyways, shout out to Mateo supporting the work. Came in.
Hey man, Fresh and Fit did a show one day, and I ain't lying, man. I ain't lying to you. Yeah. Yeah. He did a show and he had over 20,000 people, well over 20,000 people who signed up for those masculinity courses. You dig what I'm saying? And that was when he first got started. I'll say when they first started those masculinity courses, within 1 month, they got 20,000 men to sign up for those masculinity courses. And some of those courses was $1,000 and some of them was up to $5,000. Some of those courses was up to $5,000. $1,000 was, listen, the low tier package was $1,000. Man, homie, it was dudes paying $5,000 for these masculinity courses. You got beta males who gonna teach you how to become an alpha male, and you had over 20,000 men who signed up to pay for those masculinity courses the first month that they started selling it. Crazy.
Stripe Link, I appreciate you. And may I also acknowledge Alumuyiwa. Shout out to Alumuyiwa supporting the work. We appreciate you coming using the Stripe Link as well. Yes, indeed.
If that don't show you how dumb men are, men, don't get mad at me. I got to be real. I give smoke to the ladies, but I got to give smoke to you men. This shows you how dumb a lot of men are. A beta male sold you masculinity courses up to $5,000. The low tier was $1,000. You had over 20,000 men within the first month who signed up to pay for those masculinity courses sold to you by a beta male.
So that is Fresh is bro said, is this your king? Man, you feel me? Like, that's madness. And here's the crazier part is that she went on a speaking tour to embarrass him. But here's the thing, Marquette, you honorable good friend. What did Marquette do? I went on a tour too, trying to make him sound good, trying to make it seem like he wasn't sleeping with women of the night, trying to make it all seem palatable, trying to support a friend when I knew the truth before anybody knew the truth. And I knew that the truth was ugly, hideous. And I still tried to make things more beautiful for the public to help him out. That's a good friend. You ain't never had a friend like me. Believe that. My enemies, your enemies. Your enemies, my enemies. You ain't never had a friend like me. So I showed love. Even when they did things that were low, things that were dirty, things that were against my values, I showed love to protect them and help them. Now, notice this. You might sit back and be like, damn, Quet, you dropping a lot of information. 7-year period. I drop it with full confidence, knowing that they couldn't make a 7-minute video about the big homie. They couldn't make a 7-minute video about the big homie. Because if it had any truth in it, they could only speak well of me. I came to Vegas. He picked me up in the drop top. I came to Vegas. He picked me up in the Maybach. I came to Vegas. He was with 3 of them things. I came to Vegas. This boy was cutting up, had 2 suites, presidential on the same strip. Little buddy will be on the show and he'll be like, okay, so what's your highest level of education? Okay. What's your relationship?
Listen, homie, I give out the ism all the time. I'm not selling you guys no masculinity courses. I'm not trying to rob the people. All I tell you is bless the cash out when I drop this game, man. We do a consultation. So I'm going to start back doing consultations. I used to do consultations like 2 years ago. I still do them from time to time, but I got to get it back cracking. But guess what? I'm not going to charge you $1,000 just to get some game. You know what I mean? And the game I'm going to give you is going to be way cheaper and it's going to be valuable. It's going to benefit you in your personal life. All I tell you guys to do is bless the Cash App and support the platform when I slide through chopping up this game. I'm not going to sell you $1,000. I'm not going to sell you a masculinity course for $1,000. I don't rob my people. I don't sell you false hope. King Supreme don't sell you dreams. I give you the facts. The truth ain't that popular, but damn it, the truth is real. But I'm not going to sell you no fake ass masculinity courses for $1,000 and $5,000. Support the content, bless the Cash App. That's all I'm telling you to do when I slide through with this game.
That is okay. What's your age? Okay. There's nothing smooth about it. There's no flow. He does not understand the structure of dialogue and how to make it human. He is what you would imagine a robot would be in terms of how he interacts. But robots of the past, robots now are actually quite good with AI. And so also when you see him snapping on the females, he's really snapping on them in part out of frustration, his inability to connect with the female and get what he wants out of her. And his show is like a red pill raging, like a release event. And I think a lot of the viewers appreciate that aspect of it. And it's really sad because this is the kind of guy that you imagine how he engages with women in private. And it's either going to be him escalating to getting physical because he's angry, or he's a soft puppy dog, just like you saw him in that interview with Louis Theroux, the documentarian who was quizzing his girlfriend, who was clearly out of line with what Myron promotes publicly. Publicly, he's a super player who's going to have 2 wives. Privately, he's a guy who carries a purse dog, and maybe I'll be.
That's true, royalty. You got a gang of women who just show their booty, and they get a lot of money. Now you know what the hustle is. You got a lot of women doing pelvic squats on the ground and short showing their booty, and you got a gang of thirsty men in the comments, and you get women that make money for doing absolutely nothing. If you don't believe me, look at YouTube. You got a lot of women wearing short shorts with their booty, and they're doing these exercises, spreading their legs and showing you those cheeks, showing you they coochie print, bending over, squatting over, pretending to exercise, but really they're sexualizing themselves to get money from simps and a YouTube check, and it works. I've seen several women do videos like that. These videos be like 30 to 40 seconds, and it'd be a woman doing squats and some short shorts, showing you the coochie print, showing you the booty, flaunting her sexuality, pretending like she's exercising, and she's getting a whole lot of money from simps lusting after her. That is popular all over social media. I didn't peep the game. Women are getting paid based on your lust. Go look at YouTube and look at all these women that's doing these squat exercise with shorts on, busting it wide open, bending over, pretending like they're exercising, but the whole time they are flaunting their sexuality, they're flaunting their body just to get a whole lot of money out of simps and a YouTube check. But guess what? It's working. I can't get mad at them because it's actually working.
Polygynous, maybe I won't. You never know. Maybe I can't handle 2 wives. So it's like, oh, I thought you were a super masculine man. Apparently you're faking. Apparently you're lying. So I say all that to say, what he shows is what he thinks is his best face. And it still doesn't look quite that good because he is a bit autistic in the way that he communicates with people, especially women. And he's the kind of guy that would end up bodying one of these broads because he does not have the skill set or the emotional intelligence to deal with that which is chiefly feminine, them going back and forth, them being emotional, them being unpredictable, them being illogical. And so he's going to react to that.
Yeah, it's a chick with some glasses. She's like a little brown skin thing. Nice body. She's cute. She got a weave, but she's pretty. Nice body. She be squatting on the mat, showing you those cake, bending it, busting it wide open, bending it over to let you see the paw print. She wants you to see that paw print. She got her legs open. She got that booty bent over. Yeah, she's doing that to intrigue simps. Comment section just full of simps lusting after this woman. That is a come up for women. Flaunt their sexuality to get simps for a whole lot of money and a YouTube check.
Anger and frustration, and when it builds up over time, because on the facade, when he's dealing with the girl off camera, he's playing nice puppy doll. Yeah, that's why Shorty wasn't cool with him having a second girl, because he ain't really stomped down on her. And so he's suppressing all of his true feelings, and when he's on the show, he gets to vent it out. But if he doesn't have that expression during the show and he's holding in all these angry emotions, I wouldn't be surprised if he went ahead and mollywops one of these broads. We end up seeing this boy on Forensic Files. He's a psychopath. Anyways, carrying on. Shout out to Do You Sell Cat? This must be fresh right here. He writes, to be fair, Myron looks like Black Sam. I can see why he may be mistaken for Black. Is Black Sam Nipsey Hussle's brother? If so, I do believe Nipsey Hussle is Habesha, which is not Black American. And yeah, there is a level of similarity there, but Nipsey Hussle and his brother, they look Habesha, whereas Myron does not.
Well, Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam are brothers, and they have the same mother and father. Nipsey Hussle mother is FBA, and his dad is Eritrean, East African. So Nipsey Hussle is FBA and Eritrean, if I'm saying it right, East African. So Nipsey dad is East African and his mother is a foundational Black American. Let's continue. I had to set the record straight. Yes, Nipsey and Black Sam are brothers and they got the same mother and father. They're half FBA and half East African.
I get what you're saying. May I also acknowledge Merciful writes, big facts. Shout out to Milt writes, what's your opinion on the Booty Club? It'd be a great place not to go, you know. And I like to see butts shaking. For all the ladies watching, I would like you to know, I like big butts and I cannot lie. No, I like to see them things jiggling. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, but a booty club, is not a place to be. It's a place of filth and degeneracy. I would advise all of you to stay away from such institutions. And certain countries just stay away from altogether, like Colombia and La República Dominicana and the Philippines. I just stay away from it altogether. Anyways, may I also acknowledge OSS writes, Amaru was an FBI agent serving his country. He was trying to keep that private. That's why he went by Myron. Please do your research before you use his name to chase clout. It's also kind of GAY that you analyze his facial features. I'm saying something that's GAY, but his meat is in your mouth. I feel like that's a little gayer. Me personally, I feel like that's gayer. He was an FBI agent. Was he? Was he doing interesting things as an FBI agent? Myron was a hero. He was a hero, was he? Stop it, bro. Shut up. You're a nut. And you believe that nonsense. Love to see it. Do You Sell Cat writes, this is why my name is my name, because you always have to ask. Listen, bro, if you're a real player, you'll meet it. And this used to happen to me all the time in Vegas, and I would hate it, man. You meet a chick, right? And she know damn well what her day job is and her night job. She know damn well what it is. But when she meets you, she giving it up for free, right? And you feel bad because you're like, damn. Like I don't want to lay down with a working girl, but she ain't on the clock right now though. It's challenging, man. And that's why you can't be like Fresh out here.
You know, me being from LA myself, the west side of LA, you know, just like Crenshaw and Slauson, that's on the west side, right? Now, before Nipsey Hussle blew up, Nipsey Hussle used to drive a Regal, right? But one of those newer Regals, and it had like, you know, some little things on it. But I remember Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam selling DVDs, CDs, and T-shirts on Crenshaw and Slauson. Right there at the Louisiana Fried Chicken, right there by the Arco, right in the same shopping center. Now, when they got their money up, they got Slauson Tees, and Slauson Tees eventually became the Marathon clothing store. But I've seen these brothers, when you from LA, you see these people. So you don't look at these people like celebrities. You look at these people like hustlers who elevated in the game, because if you from LA, especially from that west side like I'm from, I would run into Nipsey Hussle at that Arco on Crenshaw and Slauson. I ran to Nipsey Hussle a few times up there, pumping gas, selling CDs and DVDs, selling T-shirts. Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam were certified hustlers. Them brothers used to sit on the corner and sell CDs. They used to sell weed, CDs, T-shirts, and socks, all on that street corner. They're certified hustlers. They took all that money that they made on the street corner and opened up Slauson Tees, and Slauson Tees eventually became the Marathon clothing store. So I seen everything develop. I was there in the early stages. I seen it when it developed. I remember back in 2007 when Nipsey Hussle was nobody and he was just selling his CDs on the corner. Crenshaw and Slauson, baby. For sure.
Got to strap up because you don't know what you're dealing with.
Sure.
You don't know what you're dealing with. And the sad thing is you can't ask them. I had a chick in Poland, gorgeous girl. And the crazy thing, she came from a wealthy family too. And I do mean gorgeous, a real masterpiece.
Let me drop this link, man. Anybody want to pull up? If you want to pull up and add to the but you got to add something to the conversation. Don't pull up like, I don't know, man. Listen. Shout out to let's get some more people to bless the Cash App. We're not, listen, homie. We could do way better on this support. We can do way better. I listen, homie. I don't really have no business dropping this link because you guys ain't been supporting the platform. You ain't even been hitting the like button, and the likes are free. You know how I know we got a lot of hate watchers? The likes are free. We didn't have 600 plus people, 500 plus people watching, and for some reason we just got 300 and some likes. We should have way more. Bless that like button for sure. I just dropped the link. So if you want to pull up to speak and you got something to add to the conversation, the time to hit the link is now.
Thoroughbred Hitler would. Anyways, I almost went off the deep end. But point is this. I remember when I met her, she was really feeling the boss. And she asked me what I do. Then I asked her what she does. And she says that she's in the oil business.
Right. Black Sam used to sell DVDs in Inglewood. You're right about that. Black Sam used to sell DVDs at that Vons in Inglewood. Shout out to Cat 6 Cable Guy, my Inglewood brother. He know. Black Sam used to work at a restaurant in Inglewood, and Black Sam used to sell a lot of CDs, weed, t-shirts, and he would do his thing. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Shout out to Black Sam. They are certified hustlers. You got to love them brothers. Now, I just dropped the link, man. I'm going to pull a few people up to speak, but we can do a whole lot better on those likes. You know what I mean? We can do a whole lot better on them damn likes, man. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up King Judah, and we're going to speak about Fresh and Fit, finessing men, selling you these fake-ass masculinity courses for the very low price of $1,000. King Judah, you got the flow, my brother. King Judah, you got the flow, my brother. You might be on the road. King Judah might be on the road, man. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up Big E. Big E, you got it, brother. So, Big E, you got the flow, man. I don't hear nothing, man. I'm trying to see. Yeah. You got it.
Bro, I'm right here. Yeah. What I was saying was that Arco is across the intersection. That Louisiana is right directly across the street from where Marathon was.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Arco sits on the side where that Ralph's used to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But see, this is what's funny to me. Bruh, I used to call them dudes lame long time ago. It's like, dude, who is these Fresh and Fit dudes? You know, they were sounding good. But it's like, bro, they sounded like some tricks, bro. They talking about level up to get the girl you want. What you mean level up to get the girl you want, bro? You know what I'm saying? You leveling up, all that's going to do is attract a whole bunch of women that's trying to get your money. That ain't got nothing to do with a black woman. That's just women, period. It don't matter that race of woman. If you out here advertising the way Myron and them was, well, yeah, bro, you ain't nothing but a trick. Now, you remember, it was a lot of dudes used to go in on us, Red, when we was saying, like, dude, these niggas ain't talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then they got racist, especially Myron. It's like, yeah, because that other grip played out. Myron ain't no player. He even had a video where he said he never used to get girls. Once he got rich, that's when he said he was gonna start dogging women out the way that they used to dog him. You know what I'm saying? So dude wasn't never no player. You can hear the way he talked. Dude, no woman was ever going to go for that deal. No, I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to do everything. You just can't have no friends, no social media. Basically, you got to be held hostage and he'll pay all your bills. Nah, that's why old girl left you for Rico the rollerblader. Ain't nobody taking that deal. Bro, you are lame. You must haven't had no run-ins with no American women. Ain't no American woman gonna take that deal. It don't matter her color. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that 100. And all you cats who actually spent money with them lanes, y'all need to be ashamed of y'allself. Like, real talk, y'all need to be ashamed of y'allself. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really do. Y'all let some dudes who never had no kind of dealings with no women like that tell y'all, you know what I'm saying, how to get women. You know what I'm saying? This dude just told you that he slid up in these streetwalkers raw. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what is wrong with y'all? You know, like, for real, what kind of advice could these dudes have possibly gave y'all to where they was charging y'all minimum $1,000? You know what I'm saying? Minimum of $1,000 to, you know, for their book or whatever it was. I don't know. What could they have told you that life couldn't teach y'all? What couldn't y'all have found out on your own? You needed the two lamest cats on YouTube to tell y'all how to get women. Y'all, and yeah, right, quiet. And he went up in a raw. You know what I'm saying? This dude went up in a streetwalker, raw. A woman of the night, raw. And y'all sitting up here taking advice from this clown. Are y'all serious? You don't need him to tell y'all that y'all could go raw dog and streetwalker. You could have did that on your own. You know, I bet you he probably put his mouth on and everything. I bet you he did all that to her.
Oh yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure,
saying?
no doubt.
Now,
Yeah.
this the same nigga that be telling y'all culture is trash, or telling us our culture is trash. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. This the kind of stuff that these dudes used to tell you. Now look. You know what I'm saying? My problem with Marquette is I heard him say that Myron was his friend before.
Yeah.
You know
He
what I'm
said
saying? And we
he said
talking
hey,
about,
Biggie,
yeah,
he didn't just say a friend, he said he's a good friend of mine.
right. He said Myron is a good friend of his, when it's like, dude, we been going in on Myron. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, what did you see? What did you see in him that, I don't know, I guess that you felt nobody else, like what we couldn't see? You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is straight lame.
Big E, let
You
me
know what I'm
ask you
saying?
this, brother, because people want to get your opinion. People value your opinion, brother, because you've been dropping game. In your opinion, why do you think Marquette decided to call him out now?
Well, I think because Myron and all them, I think they bad for his brand. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I think because he's kind of branded like an anti-Semite now. We already know he's a racist. So I think for what Marquette, you know, I think he's just bad for his brand. Like, right now, if you trying to move up in this social media space, etc., Fresh and Fit, they the last two dudes you need to tie yourself to.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, right now, you know, it's certain dudes that's bad news right now. And I'm not saying it to dissing, but like right now, Corey Holcomb bad news in the social media space.
Yeah.
So if you trying to come up and then you tie your brand to Corey right now, that might not be a good look for you. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what's going on now. Now, maybe once all this blows over, you know what I'm saying, then you know you'll be cool. But I think right now, why you think Walter started separating himself? You remember when he started going in on the small hats real tough,
Yeah.
and you remember he checked Sneeko. Walter was like, "Yeah, y'all saying all this, but like, what can you do about it?" You remember he was like, "Enough with it already." But you know what I'm saying? I think that was the beginning of the end for that because he got quote end quote too anti-Semitic. So if you trying to make it in this space in this game, whether you on X, it don't matter what platform you on, you probably need to separate yourself from them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that the rest of the world see them for the lanes that they are. And another thing that everybody need to stop doing, stop letting all these dudes hide behind their money. You see
Right.
Amru and them been having money, but they still lame.
Right.
Tampon got his money. He's still lame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, you look at these dudes, don't let them keep telling you because they rich. That means that you supposed to
Hold on. Biggie, I think Biggie, you just still there, bro?
yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, you gotta go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah,
But
because you were saying
yeah,
just
bro.
because they rich, you said you was breaking it down saying they rich, but it's like just because somebody rich don't mean you should take their advice. Somebody just because somebody's good in business doesn't mean that they're good when it comes to women.
I mean, he rich and you saw what that jab did to people, so that don't mean nothing. That nigga got a bad character too. But I'm saying
Right.
just because they rich, that don't mean that they giving you rich advice.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like you got people who you could talk to who probably ain't rich, who probably gave you the best advice you done ever had in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you could be rich, that's fine. But as soon as okay, like to me, perfect example is Charleston White. Like I don't want no smoke with him or nothing. But the person you are today is not the same person you came to at on the internet. You didn't come on the internet like that. You sounded a lot more humble and more like activist. Now you sound like a rapper gone bad. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You fighting in clubs that book you, throwing mics at everybody, throwing plants, cussing everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like real spit to me. The money changed him. You see what I'm saying? Like he's not humble no more. He going after rappers, talking about everybody. It's like, yeah, I hear you, but you don't seem like the same dude. You seem like a crash out to me now because of that money. But okay, look at these lanes. This dude, none of these dudes did nothing for their community. They did nothing for the community. All they did was really take from it, and they charged y'all. And like I said, whoever bought anything from them, y'all need to be ashamed of yourself. Red, we saw the grip. They want to come off like they smart, but hell, anybody would look smart when you in a room full of women who just got off the stripper pole. You know what I'm saying? They never had nobody of no intellect on them shows. It's always a bunch of stripper women, and then he get a couple of his little racist buddies or whatever there to get up there and talk about how stupid these women are. Okay, but they sell buns for a living though. How smart do you think they gonna be? Like I don't know why you get a woman off the stripper pole out the club, and now you expect her to be Claire Huxtable. Like
Yeah.
where do that make sense at?
Yeah. Bunch of OnlyFans. Most of them chicks be OnlyFans models and strippers.
What you say?
Hell yeah, man. Be OF models and strippers. They be up there debating them. People don't watch them broads for what they have to say. They're watching to see their breasts. They're watching to see their booty. Nobody looks at OnlyFans models to hear what they have to say. You're looking at them for their breasts. You're looking at them to see their butt. You don't give a damn about what they have to say.
Nah, you really don't. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, we saw the grip. You know what I'm saying? Again, what kind of edification are y'all finna get out of a show where you got a camel jockey? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got these diet black men up here, and they got a bunch of strippers, and all they doing. And then he brought out a character, Frank Castle. Now he think he big time because he kicking strippers off his show. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that wasn't nothing but entertainment, bro. Kevin Samuels was way more entertaining than that. But I'm saying now that their grip is over, everybody to me is seeing these dudes for how lame they were. The nigga, look, Anton, these two clowns right here, they just like the dudes that they talking about. Anton out here tricking, allegedly flying women out. He talk about how trash we are, but then when them people got back on him, now he ready to sue. Nigga, that make you trash. Look at these dudes right here. They trying to be accepted by people who done told them that they wasn't nothing. You know, one of them told him, I'll come to Miami to put hands and feet on you. He told him he was a sand nigga. You know what I'm saying? All this kind of stuff, and you still trying to get acceptance in there. He was looking like a lost little puppy when he got turned away from that Charlie Kirk event. You know what I'm saying? That dude, bro, they're like a ship at sea with no rudder. Ain't nobody, name a group in America that's getting ready to claim these two lanes. They don't want to be claimed by their own people. We don't claim. We didn't already made it clear to him, nah, we don't want you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We traded you for some grabber leaf and some kush. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good on you. So what else do we got to do? Even the F the black people grip is playing out. You know what I'm saying? You got white people that's even saying, yeah, we good on all that now, champ. We don't need you for none of that no more. So what are they gonna sell you now? What could these two dudes possibly sell you now? You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. What could you get from these dudes right now? Nothing. So again, I'm surprised that Marquette even aligned himself with them. You know what I'm saying? Because you see how long they've been demonetized, Red? They've been demonetized for how long?
3 years now, I think. Going on 3 years.
Okay. They got kicked off multiple platforms. How is it wise to even connect yourself with them? You know, look, you saw how they left Sneeko hang. Not saying so much as them, but you remember when they got in trouble for playing some kind of, I guess, German song at some club, and you remember they all threw it on Sneeko.
Yeah.
And they all abandoned Sneeko. You know what I'm saying? Red, we even knew he was a mark then. You remember when they was chastising that security guard, the dude bust Sneeko in the mouth? Myron was standing right there. He didn't do nothing, did
he? Hell no, he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. You remember we saw him pull his strap out on that dude Allende, right? He didn't want no smoke, so he did all that talk. He was fake. But see, niggas blue, and see, all them same dudes that was listening to them, they the reason that the manosphere failed, because you let Pearly, of all people, you let Pearly things come into the manosphere and destroy it.
Yep, she did.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, who this dude calling an idiot? Nigga, tell me what I said. Bro, see, you know what you know what I'm talking about, bro. They was in there doing the Heil Hitler or whatever it was. See, you an idiot. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You playing semantics. See, I bet you probably one of the niggas that bought one of their courses, didn't you? I bet you did. I bet you probably go into them. I bet you probably go on to them streetwalkers raw too, just like Walter, huh? Brother, you know exactly what I was talking about. Nigga, you's an idiot. You probably a trick Willie just like them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I bet you probably bought the $5,000 plan too, huh? That's probably why you mad. Yeah, that's probably why you in red chat trolling, because he talking about cats just like you. You know exactly what I was talking about, nigga, with your little lame ass. That's why his grip is over, nigga. That's why y'all grip is over. All you trick Willie niggas is a thing of the past, bruh. Talking that dumb shit to me, nigga. I ain't said nothing that don't nobody in this chat already know about all them lame niggas. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes is lame. All them dudes who got grown and got a little bit of money, now all of a sudden they all think they Deuce Bigelow. All you niggas is lames who listen to any of them. If you take a lot of this stuff that you see online for anything more than entertainment, bro, then something is wrong with y'all. This is like the new TV, bro. A lot of this stuff you're not supposed to take serious. You know where you get the game and where you don't get the game.
Yeah, see, this
Them
is the
dudes
thing.
wasn't
This is
giving
the
you
thing,
no
though,
game.
Biggie. This is the thing, man. You got some people on here who are speaking from life experiences, but the majority of people are just entertaining you. So you got to know the difference between somebody who's giving you game versus somebody who's just trying to entertain you for money. Like when I come up here, you could take what I say to the bank. When I tell you guys about what's going on, I'm not selling you no masculinity courses. I'm giving you the truth. Matter of fact, I've lost subscribers and female supporters by telling the truth. So that lets you know how real I am. I've lost supporters by being real with women, by telling them the truth. I could have easily pandered to these women and never criticized them for anything, and I would have way more supporters and contributors than we have now. A lot of those black women y'all seen on Red Supreme TV1, they don't show up over here because they don't like hearing the damn truth, so they disappeared. If I was fake, I could have just pandered to these women and told them what they wanted to hear. But I tell you the truth. That's the difference between me and an entertainer. But go ahead, Biggie. I'm gonna let you land your plane, and I'm gonna pass it to Pretty Boy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though, bro. Like, everybody is grown enough. Everybody done had enough life experiences to know, you know what I'm saying, what's real and what's not real. That crap Myron and them was talking about was 1000% fake. But the thing is, look, Myron and them was studying Steve Harvey. And what I mean by that, what was that book he wrote? Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman, or Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man? He ain't said nothing in that book nobody never heard before. What made Steve Harvey smart is his ability to get people to go out and buy 5 million copies of that trash. That's all it was. That's what made him smart, is that he made enough people go out to buy that book. And not only did he write one, he wrote 2 of them and then made 2 movies out of that same book. So you know what I'm saying? If you were stupid enough to go buy it and made that dude richer, you know what I'm saying? That's on y'all. And I'm gonna pass it with that one, Red.
shout out to Big E for dropping the game. Let me bring up we're Pretty Boy. I'm gonna bring up Pretty Boy. You got it.
What's good with y'all, fam? Respect to Big E, respect to Red. What's happening? I see, man. This is a good one, though. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but oh man, this dude, he's just been a thorn in the side of I think of social media for a minute now, especially the disrespect that he's been showing our people. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he's just like Biggie said, he's just changing, he's just switching, he's switching his grip, you know what I'm saying? And I've been hip to homie for a long time because of the industry I work in. And this is how I actually found out about him. This was before the Fresh and Fit days, right? He used to run a fitness channel, right? And I peeped game on it, and I was like looking at, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, dude built like, the WB network cricket. I was like, how is bruh gonna show, anything about fitness? So I was like listening to his rhetoric and stuff that he was talking about, bro. I was like, okay, he got a little bit of knowledge. Now, taking mine, I went to school for this shit. This is my life, you know what I'm saying? So I really take it personal when I see a lot of like these people out here talking about working out and fitness and stuff like that, right? So then I saw him like going out eating like super bad, like, you know what I'm saying, that super bad good food, you know what I'm saying, that super bad good food, that's that food that makes you fat and stuff like that. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying, it don't work that way, you know what I'm saying. I was like, so right there I seen a whole problem in his character, period, that in that at that point, you know what I'm saying, because you teaching people that it's okay to eat like trash, you know what I'm saying, but then at the same time you think that they're gonna get them the results that they want. It don't work that way. That's not how the body work, you know what I'm saying. I was like, you can't be eating like, you know what I'm saying, fat burgers and fat cheesy stuff all day and then think you're gonna go in the gym and just work it off. It's like, that's why you got these people that's all fit and they drop from heart attacks, because that's what happens. Is like they still eat like trash, but they just because they go to the gym and work out that they're gonna get healthy. That's not how it works. Okay, it's like putting oil in a car You know what I'm saying? The bad, wrong oil in the car and thinking you're going to get top performance. So I peeped game and how he was selling people that game from the beginning, right? So then I see him all of a sudden, now he's a game specialist. I was like, wait a minute. How does dude go from a fitness person to now he's spitting game and teaching people about women and stuff like that? I was like, okay. When's the last time y'all know on this coast, right? Over here on this left coast, when's the last time you ever heard of an Arab person with game? Huh?
Right.
Huh? Come on now. Come on. Huh? You ever see, you know what I'm saying, where you just walk in and all like, they gonna teach you some game. And I'm not talking about no money game or no business game. Okay, I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? Because they know a little bit about that. But that ism, bro, I ain't gonna like really? I was like, you know what I'm saying? That is the people that come from a culture that arranges marriages. You
Hey,
gonna get some
hey, hey,
ism from these dudes.
hey, hey,
You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
hey, pretty boy, you go to an Arab to learn how to run a gas station, not to get no ism about women. An Arab can teach you how to get a gas station, but when it comes to ism pertaining to women, absolutely not.
Absolutely zero. That's like you going to
Yeah,
air.
you
You
go to
going
them to
to
learn how to ride a camel, Red. That if you want to learn how to be a camel jockey and get in on the camel racing, then you go holler at Myron.
big facts. You know what I'm saying? Or what rug to get when you decide to do your five a days or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You go to them for that, but not for no ism. It was and make head fresh. It was like you know what I'm saying, fresh, and funky or whatever. Because bro don't look like anything about him is fresh, bro. He looked like 100 pounds of funk. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you think you gonna get game from homie? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, something wrong with this here. You know what I'm saying? Something really wrong with this here. And then the stuff that they were talking about, masculinity and stuff like that. Then when you see the background and the research on this dude, oh, you used to be a Fed too? Oh, okay, I got you. You used to be a Fed too. I was like, so him pulling all that race baiting stuff and disrespecting our people is it's expected. And you were Arab, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. And the thing is, like a lot of people, this is how lame the internet has become, Red. You know what I'm saying? These people dropping thousands and thousands of dollars thinking that this dude over here from a arranged marriage culture that's basically brutalizing women for the box is gonna teach them some game. You making this dude a millionaire. What part of the game is that, bruh? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. I don't get it, Lo. I was like, what part of the game is that? You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's not, nah, that's not how it works, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but they, the net has pulled in a lot of suckers and a lot of busters. And like I said before, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like, what I'm saying, the whole tricking thing, you know what I'm saying? If you notice after 9/11, the tricking culture just went super, super haywire. Cause you know what I'm saying, you had these people in hip hop and stuff, saying it's okay, it's tricking if you got it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't tricking if you got it. You can have whatever you like, and all that sucker stuff. You know what I'm saying? They really put a black eye in the game, and it's all this emo rap, this emotional. Oh, you didn't give me no box yesterday. Now I'm gonna go kill myself. It's like all that stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you got these suckers coming into the games, thinking that they could teach men how to be men. That's not how it works, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like I already peeped game with homie a long time ago. That's why I never did like dude at all. It's like because I seen it from he disrespected my occupation. First of all, telling people a bunch of lies to get in the game, and then he gonna switch it, and all of a sudden now he gonna try to teach the game to people, bro. I knew that was like, I knew that stuff was fluky, anyways. Now when we talk about Marquette, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm our West Coast brethren. You know what I'm saying? He's questionable in a lot of things, but in some things what I'm saying, he's spot on with. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna, and that's just the way the game is. You know what I'm saying? I respect him when it comes to like teaching about like when he's actually talking about like different cultures, different because he does the travel and he does the work in regards to that. When it comes to like educational things, you know what I'm saying? I'll rock with him with that. I'll listen to him in regards to that because he'll show receipts or whatever. He'll show you where you get the information because he used to be a teacher. Okay, a real teacher, high school teacher. Okay, but when it comes to that other stuff, I kind of like when it comes to the ism. I kind of like okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't really like how him and Sinful went back and forth because and how he kind of like laid it down on Sinful after Sinful was like not alive, bro. I didn't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a lot of major love for Sinful. You know what I'm saying? I think Sinful was a G. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like that, but that's neither here or there. And like to the question that you gave to Big E, even you know what I'm saying, Big E, that's the big homie, you know what I'm saying, ultimate respect for him, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can't really follow behind his footsteps like that. But as far as like how I feel, you know what I'm saying, in regards to, why he made a turnaround, it's like, we are, growing up on this coast, we are on the block had that buster that you wouldn't really mess with them, but they buy the drink and they buy the weed and they,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, but eventually, after a while, you're gonna end up running a fight with him, putting hands on him, or somebody about to do it because you're gonna get tired of that buster, bro. You're gonna get tired of that sucker. Eventually, like they might be out there, like supporting and stuff, but they still buster, they still coward, they still sucker. But you know what I'm saying? Eventually, it just came to a head, and I think that's what happened with him and Marquette. And like he said, also like Biggie said, that's bad for his brand, especially through the awakening that the awakening of this renaissance that black people are coming to, and we shutting off all these people that claim to be black, all these foreigners that they're trying to act like they black, you know what I'm saying, but they not black, and then they turn around disrespecting us, you know what I'm saying. At the same time, it's like, he better get on the right side of history. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Marquette. Marquette, he trying to get on the right side of history and not be on the wrong side of history. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel in regards to that. You know what I mean? He of course, like it's a type of grift, but you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, he knows who he is, he knows what he is, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't no freaking Arab. He ain't no freaking none of these like none of these ass itchers. He ain't that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he gonna have to get on the right side of history, and through this awakening with the FBA culture, FBA people, you better be, you know what I'm saying? Because all these people, we already know all these people are against us. Look at, it's like they're against us. They trying to steal our culture. Say they created hip hop. Now, bro, it's like it's like basically trying to take everything from us and push us out of the stuff that we actually created and we actually innovated. You know what I'm saying? Trying to deny us our greatness. You know what I'm saying? And then and it's like destiny swapping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, but that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Let me ask you
yeah.
something though. What makes you think? Why do you think that? Because I remember there was a time where Marquette was, kind of talking some borderline raccoon stuff. But then within the
Uh-huh.
last year, he been on, talking about FBA and representing FBA. Like, what makes you
Uh-huh.
think? Because now, ever since he been talking FBA, he been kind of taking shots at Myron. Now I did a stream earlier. Matter of fact, it was last year, maybe like around November, December. He did call Myron out for the Piers Morgan interview and how Myron was raccooning. Now,
Yeah, I saw that.
once Marquette started claiming FBA, that's when he started kind of saying little things about Myron. Now, what makes and you're on it because I heard Big E's take on it, and I want to get your take on it. Why do you
Well,
think Myron felt like the need? Why do you feel like not Myron? Why did Marquette feel the need to call out Fresh and Fit now?
Well, I think at the beginning, see, because like at the end of the day, like Marquette is a businessman, you know what I'm saying, and he's an intellectual, you know what I'm saying. It's like, and the way he was running his platform at one point in time, he was trying to do the ism thing, you know what I'm saying, when him and P was going back and forth, you know what I'm saying. It's like, and P was on his helmet, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but he was on his helmet, you know what I'm saying, but I think he started to see the I think he really started to see that that wasn't the way to go. You know what I'm saying? He really started to see that this dude is like basically putting too much disrespect on our people. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? It's like I said, it's that buster on the block. You know what I'm saying? They might be cool for a minute. You kind of talking to them. They might be buying drinks and you know what I'm saying? They got the bud or whatever. But eventually, Red, it's gonna come to a head, and that's gonna be the first sucker this fool's gonna end up stomping down on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's kind of happened. And also, like what he said, what he said in regards to like, just the story that he was telling about how they was sitting in the car and he was telling and showing him the girl, and you know what I'm saying, this fool's over here buying box, and it was like, bro, you know, it's like, bro, he's got so many flaws in his character that eventually, no matter what, you only gonna be able to take so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got any type of game from, you know, where we from, you know what I'm saying? Eventually you just gonna be like, nah, bro, you gotta go. You feel me? And like I said, it's like the awakening. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's an awakening. Black people are going through an awakening. You know, when it comes to Black American people, I'm not talking about these other folks. I'm talking about us. Our people are going through an awakening, and like, you know, he was walking with his eyes shut off, doing some kind of coonish stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like people say, oh, there's no excuse. You can't excuse that. Okay, I get it. Okay, so that's how you feel. But at the end of the day, we need as many warriors and soldiers as we can get on this front line when it comes to our people. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a continuous battle against us. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he kind of woke up at the same time, or at the same time, it could be something behind the scenes that they went through that he's not talking about. You know what I'm saying? But then if it was, why isn't, you know, Myron bringing it up? You feel me? Because it's been months. You know, Myron would have said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, I don't like Marquette because Whoop Whoop, or Fresh would have said something. I don't like them because Whoop Whoop, but they haven't said anything. You feel me? It's
Yeah.
like, so it's like they haven't said nothing. Marquette is the one who's letting off shots. You know what I'm saying? So it must be something in him. Either something that's in him that just said, look, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, you know, expose this, because the thing is, if you watch some of the stuff he said and some of the debates that he goes in on some serious figures, like people that are in certain religions and stuff like that. He'll have debates with these people, like, bro, and what he said to that small hat that day, bro, if you got to go back and watch it, it was like he basically exposed a whole culture right in dude's face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, bro, and that was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So you can't deny his knowledge about like our global society. It's like, if you
Yeah,
are, if
Marquette
people,
is very intelligent and intellectual. You know, we need brothers like Marquette because he has the credentials to speak on these things. He has the education, he has the business savvy. So we need Marquette in that lane. Now, where I think Marquette went wrong is when he started talking the street stuff, because he from LA. I'm from LA. I know Marquette is not a street cat. Now, he might have grew up in LA around some street cats, but he's not a street cat himself. Let people like King Supreme speak for the streets. You continue to be an intellectual and put on that suit and stay in that lane, and I'll educate the street brothers, right? Everybody has their lane.
it's like me, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Carson. Like, it's like, you know, it's a different, you know, we kind of like the square. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like the square, kind of like, you know, kind of mixture. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Carson always been kind of upscale, kind of like if you really
Yeah.
want to go there, the houses, and
Mm-hmm.
you know it's
Yeah.
not a South Bay Pavilion and all that shit now. Is Carson, and you know Carson ain't never really played. You know the Carson Sheriff never allowed for too much of that BS to be happening. You know Carson right next to Thompson. So,
Yeah,
you
I
know, we
know.
used to go to the Carson Mall every weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Hey,
Yep.
but look, let me just say this real quick though, because I got to bounce, Red. Uh, I think, like I said, just for me, Marquette came to his senses because he see that, bro, you're gonna lose messing around with Myron. And I think that a lot of dudes, where he got y'all to listen to you simps. You remember when he had that yacht party or whatever it was, and he made y'all pay just to go stand around in two lanes, and y'all did it. See, bro, that's so y'all blew his heads up to the point to where they felt like they could disrespect your whole race, and y'all would still support him. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm just glad to see a lot of y'all are waking up to a lot of this BS, man. Salute. It's 2026. Y'all drink your water. I don't know about where y'all at. It's hot as hell out here.
Yeah.
So stay hydrated and y'all keep winning.
All right.
Salute.
Well, this is what I'm gonna do, man. Shout out to Corey P. Shout out to Corey P for the dub on the Cash App, man. Yeah, we're gonna land the plane though, man. I think I've said enough about this. I appreciate you for pulling up, pretty boy, man. I'm gonna get ready and close the show, my brother.
So respect, man. Thanks for letting me come up. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? It's
yeah,
like,
no doubt.
yeah.
Anytime, my brother, for sure. Shout out to my people for pulling up.
Commodities. And I thought, okay, well, that's believable. Well-to-do, chick. All right. Turns out she danced in the booty club. I was like, God, this always happens. And this is something I want to preview for you guys who are trying to become successful in this world. I want you to know that so many of the things you think are out there when you get the Rolls Royce, when you get the private jet, when you get all this money, it's not what you think it is. And that's why you'd be wise to find a modest woman who's a good, humble woman, because when you're finding the bad bees, and trust me, I've had way more than my fair share. I've had the lion's share, way more than I'm entitled to. You get all these bad bees. These are the scrippas. These are the IG models, because they're using their competitive advantage. And that comes with a lot of baggage, the lives that they lived, the experiences that they've had. I don't recommend a bad bee. I recommend a good woman. And as the gentleman said, you got to ask if they sell cat. If they really like you, they ain't going to tell you. You got to be able to figure it out. Shout out to Rakeley. He writes, peace of the saints.
Yeah, if a chick really likes you, she's going to fear being honest with you, because she, in her mind, you're going to judge her. And rightfully so. You have every right to judge her, just like she judged men. Judge men for being broke. Judge men for not having job. Judge men for not having certain things. But these are the same women who want to judge men but don't want you to judge them. You're judging me. Hold on, bro. You didn't sit up there and judge every nigga you didn't dated. Every man you didn't dated. But you got a problem with a man judges you for your behavior and the things that you didn't did in the past. You want to pass judgment on men, but you don't want men to pass judgment on you. The hypocrisy with these women. Only God can judge me while judging others. I've seen a lot of chicks say, only God can judge me, but at the same time, she is judging others. But only God can judge her. That's the hypocrisy with women. And I'm talking about women in general. This ain't got nothing to do with race or anything. I've seen women of all races do that nonsense. They will judge you, but then they'll turn around and say only God can judge them.
20 minutes behind the live stream. Something you said before is something I always refer to. Explain the love between a P and a 304. In combination with my own, explain homeless couples. Thank you. And Brody been soaking up the game for a cool little minute. So let me just break this down real quick, right? So you have peons like Fresh and Fit, and they tell you, get your money, then you get the woman. But if women really loved money, then they would never give their money up to a P, right? Which lets you know there are women who love a man enough that she'll go get the money and then give it to him, and in fact, give anything that he demands. So money is not what the woman loves. We all need money. We use money, but that is not a woman's true pursuit. That's number one. Number two, you can go in any major city and see a lady bum who's homeless and is with a dude who's also a bum, and she's faithful to him. True story. Yeah, she's actually faithful to him, and she down like 4 flats on the Cadillac. You dig? Which means that if you think money is the end all be all, you're a fool making excuses for your own inferiority.
Yeah, I agree.
You call the woman delusional, but you're delusional.
Right. You're calling the woman delusional, but you are delusional at the same time. She is delusional, but so are you. It's even worse for you to be delusional as a man, because men are supposed to be more logical than women. So it's even worse for you to be delusional than it is for a woman.
Shout out to Dante supporting the work, man. So acknowledge superior. Shout out to Rodrigo.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Shout out to all of my contributors. Shout out to all my supporters. We got to get 15% of the audience to start supporting these shows, bro. You know what I mean? At least 15% of the audience to support these shows. And you already know how it goes. Hit that like button. It ain't nothing. It's King Supreme. I'll be back with some more content in a minute. Salute to the team. Salute to the game. It's King Supreme. I'm up out of this thing, man. Peace. Love and blessings. Giving you game to keep you from stressing. I'm gone.